Hello everybody, it's Ethan Klein, your host of the H3 Show. Today is Friday, the date is 5/23/25, and we are ready to go. Let's freaking go then, dude. Today we are sponsored by Monarch Money. Monarch Money is sponsoring us today. Thank you so much to them. Hila's here. It's Friday, baby woo.
Hello.
I want to congratulate the ladies for an amazing episode.
Yeah.
Once again, Thursdays for the girlies. And by the way, now is a good time in any to pull this up. Know the work rules, guys. Here's appropriate. Hey, guys, sorry we're running a little late. The girls. Ethan's not even in the office. Aw, you're so sweet, live chat. Hey, guys, I'm running a little late. Wait, you couldn't see it, you said?
AB was... We're good.
Should I redo it? Should I start from the top?
Start from the top.
Yeah. Know how the work...
hit the button. No,
hit the button.
I'm just kidding.
No.
Know the work rules. Hey, guys, we're running a little late. The girls. And I'm not even there. Aw, you're so sweet, live chat. Hey, guys, I'm running a little late today. Human resources. That's you guys.
Right. You guys as in the audience?
Delay.
All right.
Delay.
Okay. Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah,
was
you
fun.
guys did great. I love the girls' episodes. And you guys looked amazing. Well, I didn't know what to expect, but I thought you guys looked great.
Thank you. I also
Surprised
think it
me.
was great.
What was the theme? Like secretary?
siren.
Yeah, it's office siren.
Oh, office siren. Right. Right.
It's like
It's a fun theme.
secretary that slays. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the C word, you know.
Totally.
Is this a secretary what is her goal? What is her ambition?
So sirens
I want to know about what her thoughts.
are normally
is
mythological
she?
creatures that lure sailors to their death.
Wow, you remember.
Yes, I did.
Very nice.
Someone?
I had a taste
Yeah, we
of
got
what a siren
we got
was
a
before.
note about it.
You're a theater girly, of course.
Thank you so much, yes, for recognizing. So I assume that an office siren would lure businessmen to their death, right?
Ruin their life.
Yeah,
Have an affair and then tell their wife.
maybe
There you
even.
go. Yeah, that's
Oh my
that's
God.
That's
yeah.
That's pretty dark.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Or form a union and take over the whole office.
Yeah.
Pretty dark.
Yeah.
But you got to get paid.
Also,
Watch out.
I'm seeing... I need to correct the record here because I've been falsely attributed a lot of praise
Oh yes.
during yesterday's episode. There were many comments, and I'm even seeing in the chat right now from you playing that clip that, oh, Dan is going beast mode with that screaming. That is not me. That is AB doing all of that screaming that you're hearing. So
Screaming?
That was
I lost
AB.
my voice.
Oh, you were
doing that.
I was editing at the time. I watched the first little bit of it, but I turned it off when I heard Hila say that only Muad'Dib could ride the worms.
Only who?
Muad'Dib.
There's no way he's saying it right, love.
Do you mean Lisan al-Gaib?
Yeah.
Al-Gaib. I know what it means. It's a desert. It's the desert mouse, Hila.
I know. Listen, I have a.
And you
terrible-
said you looked at the camera with a straight face and said he's the only one that can ride the worm
No,
because he's
but-
the chosen one. And I was that
think-
meme of taking the
Bro.
headphones off.
You know, I
think
was...
I have a condition of
Yeah.
not remembering when it comes to movies, TV shows. It's sometimes it scares me. Like even my favorite movie of all time, I'll forget. what
Don't be
happened.
scared.
I often say...
It's embarrassing.
I often say, I would be on top of the world unless I didn't have, a goldfish memory.
Bro, me too.
I have
Unreal.
ADHD and no memory. So
but
I live in
know
now.
if but you guys seem to remember, when it comes to movies, you remember everything, Ethan. for
Some things,
example.
but I feel like if I did have a better memory, I would be unstoppable. Yeah,
It's so weird
totally.
though. When I work on Teddy Fresh, for example, I remember everything. I have a crazy memory there.
I feel like-
I don't know how to explain it.
I feel like.
The vast majority
I've
of
even
people,
gotten comments about my
vast,
memory.
Sorry, hold on. Go
are
ahead.
not remembering anything that happened to them at 3.
Yeah.
So people don't remember.
Not at 3.
Not since 3 years old. I've been forgetting
Maybe I saw all those movies when I was 3.
Yeah.
No.
Forgot.
No. No.
I feel like
that
a
way
lot of
when
the
we talk-
movies that we watch have a lot of like lore to them, so we have to watch a lot of like, or we choose to watch a lot of lore videos. So a lot of stuff is repeated.
Yeah.
So at least when it comes to Star Wars and stuff, that's how I remember a lot.
Lord of the Rings, I do feel that way. Like when Ethan's
a
like,
lot of
how'd you
lore.
feel about that scene? I'm like, what?
It's a lot of lore.
And who?
And to be totally fair, it's not exactly a fair criticism because the riding the worm thing is covered obviously a lot more in the book.
Okay, so I'm not
They kind of
crazy.
just yada yada a little bit in the movie.
There's a scene where when they travel to the other side of the
There's
planet,
other Fremen riding.
there's
Okay.
like
You
7
should have seen
worms.
that.
But did we
There's
ever
no
see
excuse.
Zendaya do
no
it? I don't
excuse.
think so, right?
At the end, they did like a whole. Did they
Rod
do that
and
in the movie
Couple?
where they all
Yeah.
rage in on the worms?
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
So there is a couple scenes. So I'm sorry.
okay.
There's no excuse.
No
Yeah,
excuses.
there's really-
I was gonna speak up yesterday, but since I'm a male, obviously I couldn't.
Yeah, not
I
allowed.
was fully quiet during the episode.
I appreciate it.
So no fact checking, no nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
sitting
saw
here.
love go.
Yeah. I can't answer questions.
Oh, is I always forget to say hi to Mara because she's in Cam's old spot.
Or Ian's
here?
old
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah. We have a
Intern.
we have an intern. I don't know how much I should say for her sake what she wants, but she's great. She's wonderful.
The best.
And she's actually,
Very talented.
can she even hear me or is she editing?
Probably edited.
Probably not.
Tamara? Tamara. Tamara. I love you.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I was just saying hi.
A day.
Tomorrow.
I always forget to see you. We should remove the like little.
Well, unless she wants
The
it.
divider.
Oh, do you like the divider or you don't like? Should we remove it?
We
I can
couldn't
move it.
We couldn't
Yeah,
even know that you were
I
here.
feel like we're not trying to hide you. I think it was just like that.
Tomorrow.
That's how Ian liked it.
Yeah, freak.
Yeah. So anyway.
Speaking of the good Ian, he made us a visit yesterday here.
I know I missed it.
Yeah. And it was so nice for once to have a positive Ian in our life
We love good Ians.
and not the negative Ian.
How
The
did he look?
hug.
How did he seem?
He looked good, healthy,
Good.
happy.
Yeah.
I got such
Unburdened.
a
Son.
hug from him.
Really?
Such a
Wait, really?
Such a fantastic hug. It was best hug I've ever had.
Dude,
Wow.
speaking of Ian, he's a madman for switching with these headphones on. I don't know how he
Dude,
did
the
that.
echo,
It
right?
Yeah, it's
echoes, and
terrible.
What the
I
hell
can't
is
even
he
do it for a
doing?
second. It's insane.
It's insane.
Me neither. It's way too distracting.
What's wrong with them? Why are they on an echo? You guys
I
never
don't
explained that on the show. I
know.
think
Yeah, there's no reason he
I don't
should
know
be
why.
on
there is a
No, there
reason
is.
that
It's
Dan
'cause
has
it-
told me, which I forgot.
The video switching software that we use, because it is software based and not hardware based, adds delay.
Right.
And it does that to keep everything in sync. So it delays the audio to match
Audio
the
is
video
slightly delayed.
so that everything is in sync.
I don't
But
understand
therefore,
that.
it's like about a half a second behind real life. So
Okay.
every time you talk into the microphone while wearing the headphones, you're hearing yourself like a half
I
second
see.
later. And so for Ian and plenty of other people, actually, I mean, Lena's been switching and with the headphones on.
It doesn't bother you, Lena?
I mean, it seemed to be fine for her,
she's
but
going
for
to-
me, it drives me nuts. I cannot pay attention.
I mean, there's literally things called like a voice jammer where they play it back like that.
Yeah.
And you can't talk.
Right.
Because it's just so weird.
GMM did an episode about that when they try to do challenges.
Of course
for
they
all-
course
did.
they
I
Shout
don't-
out to the
did.
goats.
It's a really good episode. I recommend it, guys.
They don't need promotion.
I'll link it in the description.
Yeah,
guys.
link in the description.
Yeah.
Especially not while Matt Lieb works there. Once they fire Matt Lieb, I'll start promoting them again.
Yeah.
I heard he's in the back these days,
I think he was
Oh,
always in
is
the back,
he?
wasn't he?
but more so. I don't know.
You heard that there's a
I
change?
hate to admit this, but
You got your ear
I'm
to
not
the
a
grindstone?
I'm not a regular.
Oh, you're not a
watcher
regular,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
of GMM.
upsetting.
That's just what that's the scuttlebutt
You heard something on the streets?
on the streets. Yes.
Okay.
The scuttlebutt.
Lena requested your help on something, Dan.
I'm signed in. To,
Oh, that's you.
AB.
Yeah.
The AB has requested your help for something, Dan. So anyway, yeah, the girls did great, and
Thank you. I hope we
Thank
didn't.
you, guys. Really nice.
I hope it wasn't boring for anybody. It was a lot of goss talk. I found it
was.
very interesting.
I don't
felt
think
that way
anyone
as
found
well.
it boring.
No,
Okay.
definitely not. It was
Yeah.
great.
Good.
You are so good. Every time we do it, it makes me so impressed
As
by your
soon as,
ability
You're
to
talking to
run
me?
a show.
Yes, as soon as we finished, Olivia was like, how does Ethan do it? And how does he feel like dead air moments so easily and smooth?
You just look at the camera and go, dead air. You embrace the void. No, you guys did amazing. There wasn't like weird dead air or anything, not that I saw. No. But I did get a lot of.
Accept the compliment, Ethan.
I'm showering.
Okay.
I'm loving it. That's what I'm always trying to tell people. I'm trying to convince people that this is not easy.
I just want to ask him if you've always been shitting your pants.
Oh.
No.
No?
Because since I've known you, you've always had like IBS.
Have you been talking to Anisa?
No.
No.
Oh, Ian. She's talking to Ian.
No.
That's the most. I hate the cucked mean butt.
No.
Have you ever heard a more defeated no in your life?
No.
No.
I was thinking every time you guys end up like having so much goss talk that you don't get to, we could do one of these and we can cover the gossip.
Oh, I love it.
I love that.
It's so nice. It's so appreciated. And like I said, I got a lot of editing done yesterday, so
Nice.
we're working our way there on this video.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Hello, Gabe.
Gabe,
Hello.
my
Yo.
friend,
Happy
how are
Memo-
you, buddy?
Hello, happy Memorial Day. It's nice
Oh,
and
happy
sunny out
Memorial Day weekend.
there. Yeah, finally made it.
It's a long
Summer has
weekend.
finally arrived.
We are taking Monday off, by the way, because that's how we do it.
All right.
We honor our troops in this fucking here damn building.
That's right.
Are
That
you
one was- that
honoring
one
the
was-
troops this Monday, Gabe?
I'm honoring the troops in spirit. That's what
That's
I'm
right.
doing.
In
The
spirit,
people
okay.
that fought for the freedom
Exactly.
to make this country the way it is today. Woo!
We're
The greatest-
saying thank you for your service.
The greatest sacrifice. Are you? I still can't tell. Are you back, or you're still with your dad?
I'm still with my dad. Yeah.
Are you gonna do a barbecue or anything on Sunday? Or you guys kind of keep it low
doing
key?
barbecue, and then we're doing like probably a road trip, like to the
A
ocean
road
or
trip?
something.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, like
So
a little
it's-
Miss Sunshine type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a movie where they do a family road trip in a van.
Yeah.
All right. What are you barbecuing?
Steak, chicken.
Boom.
What else?
What else is
Burger,
there?
hot dog.
Damn,
Yeah,
you're doing
that's
all of it.
The typical barbecue stuff.
Love that. See, we're doing steaks.
We're doing steaks and other stuff.
I'm doing steaks because I know that because I bought them. And I think other people.
Everybody's bringing stuff
Yeah.
usually when we do this kind of thing, but Ethan's cooking steaks.
Did you get ribeyes? You New York man?
No,
Ribeye.
No, man. And I got,
Ribeyes
I'll tell
the
you, I got
best.
some center cut fillets, which are good.
It's
But
our
for
favorite.
barbecuing, I'm not sure because it's just too lean.
Well, maybe
Right.
don't barbecue it. Do it how you usually do it.
I got to barbecue it. It's Memorial Day.
Okay.
How about ribeye?
That's
The
what
best
Zach
steak.
was saying, and that's absolutely the right choice for the barbecue. It's frankly.
Well, ribeye.
Love knows about the
please.
ribeye.
My mouth is just watering thinking back to that one time you grilled for me.
Gotta have them ribs.
That was great.
Gotta have them.
For me,
ribs.
it's the only steak that I like is the center cut filet mignon.
interesting.
Because
Oh,
it's
okay.
like no fat. I feel like it's
I-
it's so clean.
Yeah.
I like it when it's fatty.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The
I
best part's
almost
the fat.
It's the most user friendly steak.
yeah.
Yeah, it's user friendly.
The fat tastes great, and it makes the meat obviously more delicious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's how we do it. She's too soft for all that, Gabe. You know.
Everybody has their own opinions.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
This is America.
ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Anywho, what are your thoughts on the shooting in D.C.?
Well, I don't really pay attention to news that much, so
Yeah.
I kind of have no opinion to it.
Right. Yeah. I just thought I'd check with Gabe. I don't know.
He's busy.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
I
horrible.
like that. That's my answer right there.
I got a better question for you, Gabe. What are your top 5 favorite movies?
I'm kind of old school. I say Back to the Future. My favorite is Coming to America.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
Coming to
yeah.
America.
Coming to America.
That's the Eddie Murphy
I
one.
love that.
Where he's
It's
like
a great movie.
Prince.
I'm writing it down.
You've definitely seen it.
Maybe,
Been a
but I
while,
don't
probably.
My
remember.
parents are obsessed with that
It's like
movie.
you're Gabe. You're showing your age a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a boomer, babes.
You know,
You gotta be a boomer to say that's your favorite.
I guess maybe if it's your favorite, that's.
Up to America, Back to the Future. What
Yeah.
else? There's a lot of movies I can think of.
There's a lot of movies.
yeah.
Really,
that-
name
that's a-
one.
To be fair, we all had time to think about it before we answered it.
Yeah.
We're putting you on the spot.
Gabe, do you like Goodfellas or Godfather or shit like that?
I like those movies. I'd say they're good too. Goodfellas, The Godfather, the mafia gang movies.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gabe got real quiet. I don't know if that was him or something on our end, but
It's
What
hard.
happened?
Just Zoom. It's doing its thing.
well, man, I'm glad you're out there with your family. You've got a whole nice Memorial Day planned,
Yeah.
and all the best wishes from the entire H3 family to you, Gabe. And by the
Sure.
way, guys, if you want a Memorial Day shout out from Gabe, they can find you on Cameo, right?
Oh yeah. $25.
That's a good dude. That is
That's
such a good
great
deal.
deal.
25 bucks for a video.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Who can beat that?
I love that.
Yeah, that's really good. And you'll give them. And what do you get for $25?
I'd say happy birthday. How's your family doing? Happy graduation.
Yeah.
Nice.
If somebody said just do woo for 2 minutes, would you do that?
Yeah. Why
yeah,
not?
you do that. I'm just
Nice.
curious about where's if
Yeah.
there's a limit or anything. When do you remember the last one you rejected?
I had to reject the one where it says Dan Swirloff, but I don't know if it's a scam. It's probably one of these videos where it make me look bad, and
You're
I'm
smart.
not sure, so I just had to.
Really?
Gabe messaged me the other day and he said, "Is this really you?" And there was a Cameo request and it said it was from Dan Swordlove, and so I let him know it was not in fact me.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't patronize you, Gabe.
Yeah.
How would you patronize him? He's a good guy.
You know what I meant.
Yeah, I don't want to, say something and then it
I gotta say, Gabe,
makes me feel bad.
I thought the message was fine. I sort of understood what they were going for, and I don't think that they were trying to scam you, but I appreciate that you were careful.
Yeah,
And when you saw
very-
my
Yeah.
name, that was actually
Very
very nice
thoughtful.
that you thought to ask. me.
Smart
So
to
thank
get
you.
ahead
Yeah.
of that too.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Oh,
Don't get
and
too
I want to
careful.
say something. One of my movies that came out of my mind is Anora. Anora's kind of one of my favorites, my late movies.
Wait, Honora?
Honora.
Yeah.
Yeah, from last
It's
year.
one of these stripper movies and stuff. I love strippers.
Wait,
so
it's a
I'd say
stripper
Anora.
movie.
Well,
You love strippers.
mean, in-
you love stripper movies.
Yeah.
What?
What is Honora? Is that a stripper movie?
The rain
kinda like
film.
that.
I would not define it by being a stripper movie. I see what Gabe's saying,
It's a
but
movie about a sex worker.
it's a movie about a sex
Okay.
worker.
Is that what you
And
like
she
about
works at a
it?
strip club.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of
Is it like?
Stripper movies and stuff.
Let me read the synopsis. A young stripper from Brooklyn meets and impulsively marries the son of a Russian oligarch.
So good. It won Best Picture.
Oh,
What? It got Best Picture of the Year?
wow.
Bro, I'm so out of touch.
Yeah, I didn't even hear about it.
Hey,
Once
yeah.
the news reaches Russia, her fairy tale is threatened, and his parents set out to New York to get the marriage annulled. Is this a comedy?
No,
Yeah, it's fun. It's
it
it's
is.
a dark comedy.
I guess dark comedy.
It sounds a
Romantic
little.
comedy.
It's dark. I say dark chocolate comedy.
Oh, little bitter, little sweet.
Sweet and bitter, but it's good.
Who's Sean
take the winner
Baker?
with
He's
that.
writing and directing it. All right, Sean Baker. Anywho, Gabe, listen, you have a great weekend. It's always a pleasure to see you. You always bring the vibes up before I bring them down.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably be back in LA probably next week.
Oh, great.
I'll say
Oh,
next week.
I'm drinking.
That's good to hear.
I'll let you know when I'm leaving.
I'm looking forward to that day, to seeing
Yeah.
that face of yours in the flesh.
Yeah, everybody's like, "Where's Gabe? Where's Gabe? When he's gonna be back?" Everybody wants to know. I'm like, "Yeah, I gotta make sure my dad's fine. He's 100% on his own, but he seems to be on his own pretty much. I'm just kind of watching him.
What are you waiting? Is there something you're waiting for?
I'm gonna make sure he's all right. You know, I
It's just
wanna
a
make sure-
feeling of you
Yeah.
that you have within yourself of like, are you good now or no?
Yeah, that kind of thing. It's like
Yeah.
like last time with my mom. My mom's fine, and then a few weeks later, he has to be back in the hospital.
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing. You know,
Ah, you're a good man,
cancers
Gabe.
and stuff.
Yeah.
You're a very good son.
Yeah, you
You
are.
are.
Noticed.
It's touching, honestly. All right, Gabe. Well, I hope everything goes smooth and that we can see you out here next week, man. But if not, then I'm sure it's for a good reason because you're just a good man.
Yeah, I love you guys. You guys
Love you,
are
bud.
supportive. This is like a big project for me. A big project.
What, watching your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, heck
Being
yeah, that's a
away,
big project
watching
for
my
anyone.
dad.
Yeah, that's a huge project, man. It's a massive undertaking.
You're doing really good, Gabe. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate the love and support. You guys are the best.
Always, man.
We love you.
All right, so we'll talk to you, okay, buddy?
Talk to you soon, Gabe.
Sure.
So have a great weekend, all right?
I love you guys. You guys
All
are the best.
All right, catch you later, Gabe.
Woo, baby, fuck yeah. Woo.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Motherfucking best.
The whistle go woo woo. Thank you. That's Gabe, everybody. Uncle Gabe.
Boom.
So sweet.
Touching, honestly, it is.
I had to hold the tears back, to be honest with
May
you.
us fathers all be blessed with such sons in this life. You know what I mean? Let's see here. So we've got all these kinds of goofs and gaffes. We've got the big confrontation happening is I privately expressed an opinion about a Justin Bieber, Hailey Bieber situation. Hailey Bieber situation. That for whatever reason that I'm not understanding, Olivia got very upset with me.
I was quite beside myself, honestly.
I mean, I still stand by it.
No, you don't. You don't. You really don't.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Yes, we will. Yeah, we will.
You know. Then we've got the Tommy. I don't know what's happening here. Tommy Lee Jones, and I know his
Not
wife
Tommy
is
Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee. Sorry,
Tommy Lee
so
Jones
close.
is an actor.
So close.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee. He's married to Brittany Furlan, who was like a. She's not even a TikToker. She was like
a Vine star.
A Viner.
Oh.
Yeah. So apparently there's some scheming going on there.
There's some scheming.
Oh, there's so yeah. So that looks interesting there. We got a Rizzler challenger, Tony Cash, and I hear people saying out in the audience that they like Tony Cash even more. Is he wearing a yarmulke or is that just a weird shaped head? Oh no, it's not. Sorry, it is a weird shaped head, but it's a weird picture.
Yeah, come to my bar mitzvah, dude.
I thought it was. Doesn't it look like he's wearing a yarmulke?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, yeah. When it's zoomed out,
My name is Tony Cash.
Yeah, give me a card, fucking, we're gonna make it high up in here, dog,
All right, well he's. Oh my God, his views are out of this world.
Whoa.
He's so good.
Let me get a taste of Tony Cash.
Guys, I was at the deli getting a sandwich.
What?
And the guy behind the counter goes, "Would you like some mozzarella on it?" I said, "Yo, guy, are you out of your mind? It's mozzarella. Don't disrespect my culture."
What?
And he should
I was
say
at the
I
deli
love him.
getting a sandwich.
Wait, is this guy?
Yeah, how is this
he getting
real?
coached or is this for real?
So I have quite a.
All right, we'll save it. We'll get there.
About this,
Okay.
but, yeah.
I just want to say I think it's completely disrespectful and bullshit to compare this guy to the Riddler.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
save it, my friend.
to
Save it.
to
Stuff
keep
it.
to keep it light.
Okay.
What Zach said. Okay.
You're
What's
Rizzler.
that?
You're Rizzler.
I'm the opposite. I'm arguing.
We know.
He
We know.
looks like a combo of AJ and Big Justice and the Rizzler together.
Yeah.
It's best of three worlds, my guy.
It's
Nah, but
blasphemous.
Rizzler. I mean, how could you even
The
utter those
original.
We'll
words?
talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Get out of here.
So
Get
this
outta
is
here
all
with
very.
that.
This is all percolating. It's very incendiary situation here.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then we've got fake Diddy protests, which is funny. Friend of the show, 50 Cent, who was embroiled with Ryan Kavanaugh briefly, but apparently he seemed to have backed off on that.
They seem to have found some
They
sort
probably
of
found
resolution.
some solution.
Which, thankfully, because I am very excited to see the film Skill House preparing in theaters this July.
But didn't you pull up the? You just to be clear, you sold all the stock, right?
There wasn't really a lot to sell, if I'm being honest. So I decided to hold.
You doubled your investment?
No, I didn't double my investment. I didn't double.
You doubled your
1.5. 1.5.
1.5 million?
Time to invest.
No, 1.5 times.
How much, bro?
Listen, it's kind of at a discount price right
Yeah,
now.
for a
Like it
reason.
literally can't get lower.
You probably have a better
And
shot of
so-
just buying freaking lotto tickets from the AM/PM.
Well, listen, think about how many lotto tickets I'm going to be able to buy once Triller goes to the moon.
That's actually a good point.
Which that is part of my 4-step plan. Once I'm in the green with Triller,
Why?
I sell, I put it all on the Powerball.
Can I genuinely ask a question? Why is Triller still up?
It's not that expensive to host a website.
I went to Triller.co and it just says you've made it to the end.
The website
This is their homepage. This is their homepage. This is the beginning.
No, if you go to Triller,
happening?
you're at the end.
That's the end.
This is the website.
Explore Triller live. Come check back soon. Oh no.
Post-apocalyptic.
Oh wait. Okay.
There we
Something
are.
did load. Let's see what's popping on Triller. Let's see. Something
Okay.
good.
He's definitely dancing
Okay.
to copyright music. It looks.
Kind of
That-
obsessed with
that-
the way this guy moves.
Dude, this guy is not TikTok material.
Nah. Isn't this like 10 years ago kind of TikTok?
Unfortunately, they're still doing this though. It's very.
What's the next one?
Let's see here. This one is. But even on their homepage, it's like 6,000 likes. This is a big one, I
I
guess.
was still giggling about opening it and just saying,
This is the
this
end.
is the end.
It's so fun.
Here's this one has 2,000 likes. Here.
Nobody fucks with Triller.
She's in the woods singing over a song. That's-
Singing.
It's my sister. Singing in the woods. I would love to.
Oh.
This is 500 likes. This is the number 3 post on Triller right
Well,
now.
it's great for, discovery. Finding. I love how it's branded with TikTok. It just says TikTok on the video.
They didn't even have the algo to remove that. You say it's cheap to host a site, but it's not cheap to host like video content.
No,
like
it's
this.
not
That'd be
particularly
expensive,
cheap.
right?
Cheap. If no one uses the website, it's really cheap to host
Oh.
a video website.
That's fair. Yeah, with no traffic, it's
Yeah.
They
probably
have
not very
no
expensive
revenue.
at all.
Like allegedly, I don't know if it's true, but this video allegedly has 900,000 views.
Okay.
Relatively very cheap, in my
This
opinion.
is a banger by Triller.
Bro, who are you? Nick Mongol. He only has 2 videos. What is he? Oh, no, he
Oh,
doesn't.
okay. It's,
And they're-
is it loading really?
So wait,
slow?
he went viral with this one.
He went mega viral.
It's a good one.
Wait, let me read the comments. Are people goofing or are they loving it? Okay, these are all fake comments,
Yeah.
bro.
Hey, yo.
What? Hey, yo. Laughing,
Allegedly.
fire.
Allegedly.
Oh, of course, I don't have insider
It
information.
could be real. They could be real. Wait,
They could
these
be.
comments are from September 25th, 2023. This video is
Wait,
Oh.
what?
multiple years old.
What? I think I've
So
seen these.
Triller is like the TikTok outlet. It's like TikTok 5 seasons ago.
70% off.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe
I've
not
seen these
even
people
outlet,
on
to be
Ryan
honest.
Kavanaugh's comment section.
Similar patterns, random numbers with
I recognize some of
emojis.
them.
Yeah.
I personally do recognize some of them.
What the fuck? Why? This is the number 1 post. Is a post from 23. 22. 21.
Wait,
Post from 21.
What?
Wait, there's something really
What
fishy
is
going on here,
happening?
guys.
I don't think it's fishy. I think it just is still serving this video 4
but-
years later because there's not enough content to.
But none of these comments are appearing in my humble,
Wait, this is
informed opinion
okay.
to be
So
real.
Sam user got 4 comments.
That's the trend that I'm seeing. They all having like no, it's not even working.
This is bizarre.
Oh god dang it. Yeah, there's not one comment with words in it. There's no words.
Here's same
Yeah, it's
person again.
Here's the same
commenting.
person twice, and there's no words.
What is happening here?
So here, chill, please,
I saw an LOL.
bro, please chill.
Don't do that no more.
No, go get a 6-pack.
LOL.
I'd rather have like a blimpy video of me out in the past rather than something like this. if
You'd
I'm being
rather,
honest.
yeah. This is pretty embarrassing. I'll be honest.
It's
really
for poor
embarrassing.
Nick here.
Do you know who Casey Frey is? The
Yeah,
comedian.
he's
he reminds
great.
me of him.
But
he
the
like
Ca-
dances with like the smile.
No, don't say that. Casey
I'll
Frey is
say
very
it.
funny and self-aware.
I love Casey Frey.
Yeah,
maybe
he's,
Nick
he's
is
back, isn't he?
I've seen some of his dancing videos resurface. Is he back?
He's posting new content.
Love
I
that.
think he disappeared for a while. Let's see, Casey Frey,
I don't know who's that.
Instagram. He's this. He's this kind of silly. He's a really good dancer, but he's also very funny. I mean, here's one. Let's see. This is from 2 days ago. Yeah.
Oh my God! Yay!
It's really good too. I don't know if I can.
Really good.
Oh yeah, there's no music.
Love that. Oh shit. Oh!
Okay, this is funny.
Here's another one he posted recently. He's
so good.
He's actually a really incredible dancer. Yeah.
Okay, you're right. This guy on
Nothing
on
to
Triller
do
is
in
not as good as
common.
Casey.
He hit him with the crack scratch, bro. Yeah, anyway, you can't hear the music, but he's on his shit.
Yeah.
It was something like this. Bing, bonk, bing, bonk, bonk. Something like that.
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
Yeah. Yeah, so there it is. Casey.
So there it is.
I don't know what the fuck this is. 3 weeks ago?
I don't know, but we're at 31 minutes, my friend.
How?
Yeah, so anywho, I didn't even finish talking about what's coming. Obviously, the big story, and one if you've been following me that I've been talking about a lot in my Instagram stories, is this assassination of the two Israelis outside the embassy, it was outside a Jewish museum in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
And the murderer shouted out, free Palestine. I did this for Palestine, I did it for Gaza, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, this has had a lot of implications, a lot of reactions, a lot of situations going on here, right? And of course, obviously, Hasan and the gang is psycho posting about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to watch that. And then just incidentally, this was unplanned, but the timing is perfect. There's this fine gentleman named Ahmed Fouad Alkhatib,
Mm-hmm.
who is a Palestinian activist. He grew up in the Gaza Strip, and he attained political asylum in the U.S., and he is basically pro-Palestine, but also he's very anti-Hamas. And I think he has a unique, balanced perspective on this. This is a guy who's from there. He's lost like a lot of family there. This guy has every reason. You know, I love his perspective here. And so I look forward to talking to him at 3 o'clock, and I'll probably try to hold off on the Hasan stuff until leading up to that, till about, I don't know, 2:30 something like that. I'll try to take it on, but and try to have a little bit of fun until then. But until then, let's thank our sponsor, Monarch Money. Yo guys, it's time to manage our goods. By goods, I mean money. Monarch Money. What is Monarch? Listen, guys, finances can be messy. It can be confusing. You need to use modern technology to act like your own personal CFO, and that's what Monarch Money does. You connect it to all of your accounts, your credit cards, your banks, your subscription, your like reoccurring payments and all this stuff. And it's going to track all your spending. It's going to show you your habits. It's going to show you how you can spend money, how you can sorry, this is I'll save that. Thank you, Jolly Saint Nick. I'll read that after the ad read. I would like to go on a magical sleigh ride. Sorry, no, I have to get this. What? Why? Oh, sleigh ride. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I was saying. Anyway, listen, guys. So, budgeting is so hard, and honestly, managing money can be so stressful. And with this, you can basically, at a glance, kind of figure out where you're trending, where you're spending your money, the best way to spend your money. You can see how much you put into your 401k, how much you're spending on reoccurring stuff, how much you're spending going out. And it's really just this financial planning made easy. And honestly, guys, I'll just tell you right up, you can get 50% off your first year for our listeners.
Wow.
Yeah.
50% off?
Yeah. Let's see. Are you overspending on shopping? Are you finding unexpected spending patterns? Are you trying to figure out why you're not saving as much as you mean to? Where are you wasting money? Learn how could you be maxing out your 401k? You know what I mean? Like one thing I remember when we were in New York, being like at a certain point going down and kind of nailing down all of our finances like this. And you see certain stuff, you're like, I spent how much on like Ubers?
Yeah.
You're like, I spent what? You don't even realize how hard that shit's hitting you, or just anything, right? I spent how much eating out?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, maybe I don't need to eat out every day. Right? Avocado toast, guys.
Millennials.
We can make it at home. We can make it at home.
Millennials. Am I right?
Damn, millennials.
Yeah.
Avocado toast. You're never going to make it, kid, if you keep eating bread with avocado on it. It's so fun. It's like the simplest food ever. That goddamn bread and avocado.
I do. I love avo toast. And I'm not even a millennial.
It's so basic. Wow. It's just very satisfying.
Quite.
But I'm telling you, you gotta watch it, because that'll set you back if you ever want to get on top of the world. Yeah, Dan, you were playing around with Monarch money, right? You did that. You know what I mean? Like that revolutionized your whole life.
It revolutionized my whole life. It did. No, I was impressed with it. I downloaded it, hooked it up to all my accounts. It was super simple and seamless. I've tried using apps like this in the past and hit all kinds of like weird bugs when you're like trying to sign in to various, because it connects to all these different banks and they have all these different integrations, and sometimes that doesn't go smoothly.
Yeah.
I was able to connect everything in like under 5 minutes. It was super easy.
That's honestly the most important.
And then it quickly, was able to look through my bank account history, and it auto-categorized. That was another thing I was impressed by in the past. I've used other services which claim to yeah, this is my finances right here. This is just the sample. It tries to categorize all of the types of payments and everything, and it does a terrible job and puts everything in the wrong thing, or it just doesn't know what things are. This time it seemed to get there was like 3 things that I asked for clarification on in the past 3 months. And I was able to very quickly just throw those into categories. But yeah, it's got all these like great graphics and pie charts and all kinds of things.
Hold on, this person's in trouble. I know this is just like a demo on their homepage.
Right.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. This is not a good situation.
Oh? Why do you say that?
I'll show you. Hold on
They
one
seem
sec.
to be doing okay.
Yeah, all on paper looks good, but wait till you see the cash flow. But you can see all the tabs here. This man, his income is $480.
Oh.
Well,
you got to get to work, brother. Total. Oh, no,
no,
sorry.
that's the net after.
That's
all
the net,
expenses.
Ethan.
That's why you need this app.
Yeah.
You need this app.
This is why Ethan is not a certified financial advisor.
Well, I am. I am, by the way. Why do you think they're sponsoring us?
I don't think so.
I actually advise them on
everything.
I don't think that's true.
I give them financial advice. I give them financial advice. Anyway, if you are trying to like understand your that's really cool.
Actually,
It does look really cool. It actually makes me want to try it.
I'm telling you, I was impressed with it, how easy it was to set up, how logical everything was laid out, and yeah, all of the graphs and everything, like you said. I found out that over half of my expenses every month are my rent, which I kind of knew, being somebody who rents in Los Angeles.
Is that good or bad? I mean, it's mostly bad, but can it be good also? It just means
it's not as bad as it sounds on its surface, because obviously I'm not my income is more than my expenses, and so it's not like more than half of all of my money is going to the rent. But it was still, if anything, I think it was kind of reassuring. I feel like that's actually good.
Because you're not spending that much money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Good for you.
Which means I'm saving.
Save that.
Good.
Save that guacamole, my friend.
It's really good.
Really good.
So yeah, give it a shot. Get on top of your finances, guys, and we've got a great deal for you.
Oh, there's somebody in the chat says, I use it. It's great and easy.
Hey, there you go.
It is.
Nice.
Use code H3 at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's a really great deal. That's 50% off your first deal at monarchmoney.com with code H3.
Oh, somebody says I'm buying a house and this would be helpful. Yes, in fact, I'm
Absolutely.
saving for a down payment, and that was one of the features. Is it has the ability to set up a savings plan, and I was able to set a goal and how much I want to contribute each month. And it tells you how far along you are on that. And how many months away you are based off of your current
Keeps you focused.
income. It keeps you focused.
Keeps you on target.
Yep.
It's good. Well, there it is. I'm very happy to have this new sponsor, monarchmoney.com. Use code H3 for 50% off your first year. Thank you. Thank you. With all the peace and love in the world, consider supporting them. Thank ya.
Thank ya.
All right. Let's go top of the show. We got all kinds of goods here. This is Ethan when we tell him not to post something.
Oh,
So
yeah,
true.
I found this last night. It was perfect.
A little PSA for you. Don't tell me to tone it down. Because believe you me, you tell me to tone it down, I will tone it the fuck up.
That is literally me. Absolutely.
Here's a little PSA for you. Don't tell me to tone it down. Because believe you me, you tell me to tone it down, I will tone it the fuck up.
That
Honestly, so
is
true.
you.
It's so true.
That is just you.
I mean, if anyone's, I've proved that just yesterday, frankly.
Every
You know?
day.
I'm always cranking it up, my friends. You know what I mean? And there's no stopping me. You know, they're the ones that coined the demon mode. Ian showed me that shit. Demon mode H3, and I just started posting this now.
You guys, every time I see that picture, I seriously like laugh out loud.
It is very funny.
This man actually included this as the
Wait
most
a minute.
deadly mode. This is my most deadly mode. And this caption is the best when you're being a little stinker. Demon mode. What made you
What?
think that this was? It looks funny and silly.
It looks so silly.
Yeah, it looked like I'm just up to a little mischief. What are you doing? Now here's demon mode. This is what Ian saw.
Right. It's still funny.
Oh, yeah, this is when I said that Antichrist had one eye. Or was going to have one eye.
Oh. So the demon mode is actually picking up quite a bit of lore here. Yeah, that one looks scarier then. This is demon mode too, apparently. Wait, is my color hair dyed?
Yeah, what is
my hair
going
color?
on here?
Yeah.
Does it look like?
Maybe was that after you bleached it and did the coloring?
When you got the toner that you didn't like, is that what's happening?
Is that what it
here?
looked like?
I don't know.
Holy
You've done
shit.
so many fucked up
I
things.
don't
to your hair
know.
over the years.
My poor hair.
Keep
I'm
track.
trying to grow it back so that we can fuck with it again.
Show me the demon mode one more time.
Yeah, don't. As trigger warning at home, guys.
Trigger warning.
For those of you that are easily spooked, this is demon mode. Yeah, hardcore.
Little stinker.
So anyway, that's totally me, AB. You nailed me.
Yeah, like I said, perfect timing. I saw it right after your Instagram stories yesterday.
Yeah, demon
I
mode.
just want to ask him if you've always been shitting your pants.
Why do you keep asking?
Excuse me.
Like, can you
Inappropriate.
please
Such personal information.
Yeah.
mind your own business?
Kind of,
No.
yeah.
Oh, she's asking Ian. I keep forgetting.
No.
So Ian is not shitting his pants.
No.
It doesn't sound that convinced, and she seems more convicted than he does. I'm leaning towards him shitting his pants all the time. Does that mean
No.
Okay, all right, but you're not convincing me. Does that mean he's leaving streak marks? What does
That's
that mean?
what it sounds like.
That's disgusting.
That is what I'm getting.
Because since I've known
Well, you can't help it.
you've always had
Unironically.
like IBS.
Since she's known him.
You've always been shitting yourself.
Now, I do think that's important for a
But-
couple to discuss, but maybe not on
No.
Oh my lord.
on TV, right? You know.
I mean, that is certified dumping.
Holy shit! ChatGPT just gave us the ultimate demon mode.
Yeah, ChatGPT cooked.
Oh.
Scary
horrifying.
alert.
Oh my god.
This is scary.
This is what Ian saw. I
Chat
think.
GPT, you have no soul.
Yeah, baby. It's demon mode.
That's so scary.
That's actually sick. We should put this on a shirt.
No.
We should.
Embrace the darkness.
Not with ChatGPT though.
No,
we're
it
gonna
doesn't need
pay
to be
an artist to
yeah,
do it.
but
Okay.
but we should do
Yeah,
that.
I like paying
mean,
artists.
Yeah.
I
We
love
doing
paying
it.
artists.
We love
That's
doing
what
that.
we always do.
Yep.
We pay, we promote them, we tag them,
We live, we
Shout
laugh,
them
we
out.
love.
You do it right.
send them stuff. unlike a certain individual.
Just say it. It's Hasan Piker. He uses AI art, I think, allegedly, in my opinion. It looks pretty fishy.
10 toes fucking down.
Yeah.
Okay, why can't I can't. Thank you, Edge. I cannot close this now. Excuse me, do we not know, Edge, do you not know what the X button means?
Oh.
Sir, can you not see this? Can you see this, AB?
What is Edge?
Can you not see this fucking...
Try the top right.
Excuse me, sir. Do you not understand?
We got a bug. It'd be bugging.
I think you gotta click next, I guess.
Wait, what's happening? Okay, whatever. I'll forget it's open.
No.
Movie segment recap. Everybody's tops movie list plus some fun math. So somebody actually ran some pretty interesting mathematics on our movie picks.
Yeah. Thank you for
those
doing
that
this.
missed.
Who is it? General Frockles? Is that the name?
And some people asked me what is my list, and I was saying yesterday that I feel like our list is pretty much the same, me and you.
Wow, this is so interesting. So yeah, we had a really, I think, good conversation on Wednesday where we all shared our top movies, and I think we all learned a lot about each other. So here, this person, average release year.
Yeah, so this was an interesting stat. They basically came up with this formula to correlate the average year the movies on our lists came out versus the years that we were born. And so the higher that number in the second column, the more it correlated.
That's
so, for instance, Zach and AB's movies
outliers
but they're the most.
Lena.
They're the close. No, you're looking at the last column.
No, Zach has 83. No,
you're looking at the last column. I'm saying the second to last column. Yeah,
Accuracy.
that one right there.
Oh.
So the higher the number, the closer the movies were to their birth year. And so from this, Zach and AB's most correlated to around the time that they were born. So they most like movies that came out around the time
How do you have
that they
over
were growing up.
100%?
I'm not sure how they calculated it, to be honest, but that's my understanding of what's being displayed there. And then the opposite is Olivia, actually, who was the most off from her birth year.
There it
Maybe
is.
I'm just
Well, and
super curious. And I look in all
you
the
are
different
really,
places.
and I'm right behind you, girl. I'm at,
Olivia.
Looks like I'm at 90 here.
Okay, girl.
Oh, there is a very strong correlation, it appears, to our birth years.
Yeah, which makes sense. You like the movies that you grew up with, you know?
I was surprised. I thought me and Zach would be the furthest from our birth year.
Yeah, how was that?
And
'Cause
Olivia
you
the
guys all-
closest, to be honest.
How was yours not?
I'm
AB?
also
Because all of us were like
questioning
old as fuck. This, I'm doubting the data.
No, well, it says right here. So the average release year, that's the average of all of the movies that they listed. So AB, for example, the average year was 1990. And
He was born in 1990.
Is that correct, AB?
92.
92. Okay, so close.
So 102%? He's off by 2 years. This data is corrupt.
Okay, well, take it up with General Freckles there. But that's, you could still see relative
That's
to...
interesting. Okay, that's weird. That's a little weird. Okay, interesting. So there it is.
And then the last column is the average combined score of both critics and user ratings on Rotten Tomatoes.
Now, mine is 89, and I know why. It's because...
If you click next, it actually shows the details for yours, Ethan.
The Fifth Element is a...
there you go.
Is a critically underrated film.
Yeah, it has a 71, I can see. It's the first one on your
hit
list
me
there.
hard, but I stand by it. I stand by it.
But it does get averaged with
stupid.
the audience score, which was 87, so...
That is so stupid.
Fifth Element. Yeah, I don't know why the critics are such haters on this movie. I think at the time they just weren't ready for it.
makes no
I mean, look at The Big Lebowski got 80 from the critics. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the critics sometimes miss the mark.
It's true.
Rael Tenenbaum's got an 81. That's shocking
Yeah,
to me.
that's stupid. That
Willy
should be
Wonka
90.
got good reviews at the time of release. That's nice to see. The Matrix got an 83.
I think that's another example of a movie not totally hitting with everybody at the time, but later becoming a classic.
But somehow that audience scores at 85. Like, I'm sorry, but this is everybody loves this movie. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Now we're talking.
That's the highest
quality
of your picks.
And Spirited Away 96. So there they are.
The biological reality of the dragon.
Forrest Gump got a 75. Didn't that win like Best Picture of the Year?
I don't think it won Best Picture.
That's
what year did it come out? 94.
Like a box of
Private
94
Ryan.
Best Picture winner.
Unforgiven.
Schindler's List.
Oh, that's yeah. That was one of those crazy ass years. Wait, Schindler's List. Isn't that also Aren't those both Spielberg movies?
No.
Zemeckis.
Zemeckis is Forrest Gump.
No,
But-
sorry, I'm confused. Yeah.
Spielberg was doing he was doing another movie at the time of Schindler's List, so he was like ping ponging between the two.
Damn.
He had a crazy run there in the 90s.
I think it was Jurassic Park. I think.
Honestly,
Two big movies.
Crazy.
no, that guy had quite a run. Now he started making shit like Player Ready 1, which is the dumbest
Ready Player One. But yeah.
doo-doo I've ever seen. It's such a horrible movie.
You know, he's getting up there in age.
This man went from Jaws to Doo-Doo Factory.
I like that movie.
It is so bad.
Oh, okay.
But I
So Forrest
appreciate
Gump, I take it back. Right. Forrest Gump came out in 1994, but it was the 95 Oscars. I'm conceding.
So I was looking
at
you were more correct.
I was looking at the wrong year. So
Are you conceding?
I am in this case.
So did it
It won 6 awards,
Yeah.
including Best Picture.
Yeah, that was I remember it was a big deal. Okay.
There you go.
Interesting. Oh, Casablanca is my top one. That's 99.
Yeah, that's a good ass movie.
95 with the audience. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see here. Let's go down to AB. AB. Let's see. Lots of fan favorites. Not a lot of love here from the critics.
Well, Goodfellas has a great score, and so does The Godfather.
Godfather, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's got a good mix there.
Sandlot is not getting any love from the critics over here.
Sandlot screwed my
Your average. Yeah, definitely brought your average down.
Olivia coming in with my name's Chef.
Great film. I'll die by
My
that.
name's Chef.
Good score, good marks for Chef and Juno.
Great.
Very
Good marks
high
in
average.
general. Yeah.
I've got good taste. I take a bit of cross with them not rating Captain Fantastic higher.
It's not bad, but it's not great. I mean, I haven't seen it, but 82 is kind of.
I mean,
like
that's still
mid.
positive, but
Well,
it's not like.
there was someone on our Reddit who did like a long dissertation.
Oh, we have that
about-
too in the doc.
And they didn't like Captain Fantastic either.
They had a lot of problems with a lot of our choices, and they had a lot to say about it.
They
Probably
gave me
none
the
with
lowest
mine.
score.
Let's see.
Here is Olivia. I didn't realize Black Swan was your honorable mention. That movie is a little nutty for me.
It's so. I
What?
honestly believe
It's
that.
good. It's good, but I just.
That's a great movie.
Thinking it was like just a little bit nutty, too nutty.
I think
Okay.
I've watched it like more than most movies I've ever watched. I don't know
Really?
why.
Black?
I mean, I know that I love it, but I don't know why I'm drawn to such a dark story. The dancing is so beautiful. Maybe that's why.
There it is. Beautiful dancing.
Aronofsky's a great director.
Dude,
too.
Mad Max, cleaning it up with the critics.
Yeah.
Look at that. 90.
Yeah, it's actually crazy to me that
marks.
it is higher with critics than audience.
Airplane with a 97 with the critics. We gotta watch that, Hila.
I mean, it's great.
And then My Neighbor Totoro. These guys convinced me I need to watch that again with the boys specifically.
Yeah, I think watching it with the kids,
need
it
the
will be an
marks.
enjoyable experience.
This to me is shocking. Fight Club 81 from critics, 96 from audience. Like how? Who the fuck? What? That movie is.
That movie was very. It was not very
critics
well
are
received
dumb.
when it first came out.
I
It
tell
kind of
every-
bombed too.
Like
I
a
think.
perfect movie.
Yeah.
I think it's
There's
great.
nothing wrong with that movie.
I think it's great.
Dan coming through 12 Angry Men. This is one of these movies that's like, it has 100% with the critics. It's one of these movies that's like, oh, yes, have you seen 12 Angry Men? It's
Have
a
you-
classic film.
Have you watched it?
Yes, I have.
Have you? Did you
I
watch
watched 12 Angry Men.
Was it?
And
Was
you
it
wanna
when the
know what?
substitute teacher was there one day at school or something?
No, I watched it at home, and I think Ela watched it with me. And you want to know what?
I don't remember it.
Too old, too boring.
Oh my god, that's insane.
I'm angry.
Insane take.
Oh,
You've lost all credibility.
Have you seen 12 Angry Men?
Oh, get out of here. It's
1957.
It is well. That 100 is well deserved.
Well, you're not alone in that.
Avery says that's psychotic.
Sorry, Avery. 12 Angry Men from 19.
Thank you, Avery.
Fucking 23. Sorry.
The year's right there.
The one movie that I have not seen mentioned by anybody here is 2001's Odyssey.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were saying that yesterday that you would
saying
have.
it-
That's
yeah.
the one you would have swapped out on
I feel like I
Ethan's
would've
list.
had
I'm
that
sorry.
maybe
Why?
somewhere, or at
I
least
didn't
in
care
like
that much about
honorable
that.
mention.
I think it's a cool movie. I just
Yeah,
think
it's a cool
like
movie.
a little
I-
dated.
I
I
can't
think
do
it's
that.
Beautiful.
holds up.
I
I think
love
it's
that
super
movie.
It
cool.
does hold
Yeah.
up. The How thing is awesome, but there's
I'm sorry,
it's a
Benny.
bizarre movie, and
But
like
it's beautiful too,
the
like
how-
aesthetically.
So there's a few things in it that are remarkable. The depiction of the AI remarkable.
Yeah.
Even today, it holds up.
Yeah.
Also, I love the depiction of the spacecraft, the circular spinning spacecraft. Super cool. I believe that probably still holds up, like scientifically speaking. That being said, there's just a lot of weirdness.
I can't even ride Space Mountain without Gan ruining my vacation.
It's not exactly
Dan,
like
can
a
we
narrative.
show like some of the like iconic shots from the movie?
Sure.
Just so I can show like aesthetically.
I love the scene with the monkeys.
Yeah, that's
I think that's overplayed. I think it's not their fault though. It's just been boomed on too hard.
I don't mind that. I think the music is so
yeah,
epic.
that like.
The interiors of the spaceship are super cool. I love the room when he's in Hal's data banks.
It's insane
and everything. Also, of course, the Stargate sequence where he gets teleported across the universe was super trippy and fucking cool. It's like an acid trip, and it was done completely optically without any, computer effects or anything because it totally predated all of that. They used like colored glass and all of these like strange photography techniques to
cool.
create that whole sequence, which was pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah.
This isn't actually it, but it kind of gives you an idea. It's a banger. It's a banger. It's definitely a good pick.
I can't do that.
I would say, it's just, it didn't stand out to me in terms.
Have you ever seen it in a theater?
I have not.
What am I, 100?
It's definitely the way to see that. Not just that movie, but those kinds of movies are in the intended way.
Let's see here. Love. Dude, okay, Dude 2 got more respect from the critics and the audience. Interesting.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. I don't agree with that, personally.
I didn't realize Arrival was so critically acclaimed.
Me neither, actually. I thought it was just like a niche movie, honestly.
Godzilla got creamed.
Still
nobody likes that one.
It's probably 6 is still positive.
It's probably high for a Godzilla movie.
Yeah,
that's
true.
I think the latest one,
the new one got really good.
I think a -0 probably has pretty good. Here, I'll look it up.
Very good reviews.
It is really cool. That's my second favorite.
That would be, and then Spirited Away. Shout out to Good Taste. Legends.
Godzilla -1
Zachariah
has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, dude.
Wow.
It's genuinely
99.
Honestly, maybe thinking about it, it would be on my number 4 there.
They both definitely have merit, but yeah, I really love this one. As a longtime fan of the series as well, I was pretty blown away by it. It has a 98 audience score too.
Oh wow,
that would have brought up your average big time.
Oh,
damn!
Please.
Moving on to Zach, we've got Silence of the Lambs coming in with an 80. That's surprising.
That's one that I consider too. If I were making my list, maybe in honorable mentions or something.
Ooh, California.
But 80?
You got murdered on that one, Zach.
I don't get that.
59% from critics.
That movie is so well written and like it's shot beautifully, even though it's about a psychopath. Like,
I'm not saying you're wrong, but a lot of people are saying that.
Yeah, they're wrong.
But even Man on the Moon, no respect for Jim Carrey, huh?
No, I guess
Casino even getting disrespected here by the critics. 79%. Man on the Moon, 64%.
Surprising.
Nate Dogg, standing pretty tall and strong.
Except
he had to go with the Desperado.
Dude, that movie's awesome.
That's
70%.
I gotta say, that seems like anti-Mexican racism right there.
Wait, was that in that movie where Johnny Depp had that line, "Are you Mexican or
That's
Mexican?"
the sequel. That's Once Upon a Time in Mexico. That movie is not as good as Desperado.
That was this very silly tongue-in-cheek. I always thought that line was so ridiculous. Are you a Mexican or a Mexicant?
Somebody said Dan was my only hope to shout out Kurosawa. I'll carry this sadness forever. I'll have you know it was in my honorable mentions, but I got played off by the music. I had Rashomon.
I thought about adding one too, but
Rashomon is my favorite Kurosawa movie.
The Kurosawa, all the like old school.
It's so old. It's so old. All of a sudden,
movies.
all of a sudden.
Oh, the old samurai movies. Yeah.
Seven Samurai.
They're not on my list.
Well, you said you were. You said you were considering
Angry Men.
I don't know. It's like I just feel like it doesn't hold to the same place as the other movies we're talking about, even though they're iconic in their own way.
I think his best one is the what was it? The 12 Samurai.
Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai.
Yeah,
I've seen
that's
that.
probably his most iconic one.
It's very good. It's a very good movie. It is.
It is good.
It's old though. It's old as fuck.
Yeah. I think the first action movie to ever use slow mo in like an actiony way.
Slow mo.
It's near the beginning. When they're introducing one of the samurai, he rescues somebody who's being held hostage. This woman is taken hostage with like a knife to her neck, and they do this like slow mo thing where he like grabs the knife away from him, and
cool.
that was an innovation at the time.
The guy, that guy's a genius. Obviously, he made a lot of amazing films.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween, wow, critically acclaimed, 97. I did not know that. That's very unusual for a horror movie to get such a high mark.
Yeah, and then Nightmare on Elm Street also is way up there. I mean,
right?
It's just called Halloween.
Movies.
Which movie?
That's
is that?
the original.
That's Michael Myers.
Michael Myers one.
I'm not so surprised.
Here, I'll show you the
really
character.
classic.
97, and then Lena, this is shocking as well. So Interstellar got a 73.
I'm so surprised by that.
On critics?
I'm telling you, the critics
what?
scores like make no sense.
The
They're
critics
so
did
dumb.
not like Interstellar.
I never
Surprising.
care about the critics.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of fucking nerds.
Yep.
Apparently.
This is Michael Myers, by the way. This guy.
Yeah, that's so scary.
So the one she listed is the movie that introduced him, the first one.
Oh god.
There's like a bajillion sequels now, but yeah.
Scream, I feel like
That's too scary.
I know.
I don't like the scary films.
That's so scary.
So
They used to really affect me. Like I couldn't sleep. I would.
No, it still will happen to me if I watch something scary. I'm like, what am I hearing in the house?
Yep.
I
See,
can't. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. After I watch a scary movie, closing your eyes in the shower when you're washing your hair, and closing your eyes when you're washing your face becomes a problem.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that.
The
Sorry,
scary
guys.
shit that does it for like that, it doesn't get me like The Exorcist does. When it gets into like satanic weird shit like that, that's when I'm.
Oh, we know that about Zach. That's true.
Before I pull this up, it has a 0 points.
It has 0 upvotes and only a handful of comments.
Oh, this is really. Did you write this, Dan?
No. Zach discovered this yesterday, and we were cracking up because this person, even though it has 0 upvotes, and it has 0 upvotes because
the fuck is
they had
this?
a lot of criticism.
How is this idiot going to give me a 5 out of 10? There was nothing. Truly insane picks. Fifth Element and Crouching Tiger are good films, but to include in favorite movie of all time is quite damning. I am so sorry that you think so.
Damning of what? Like it's a personal. It's a personal list of what's your favorite movie.
Fifth Element, I'll accept some pushback. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is undefeated.
Why
that
should
is
you
the biggest
accept any
self-snitch
pushback?
ever.
I don't accept it.
Well, because it's
Keep reading too, because they.
No.
I'm so glad we're skipping.
Not at all.
All right, fine. I just thought it was funny.
We read the whole thing yesterday, and Dan and I
Yeah.
were cracking up.
All right, I'll bring it back up.
You guys know those like Russian misinformation bots that just fuel anger on
Yeah,
social media?
yeah.
I feel like this is written by one of those bots.
Absolutely.
Just anything that just triggers people is in this thing.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Absolutely.
I was so mad being
Bro,
forced
this
to
guy is
listen
such
to
a
it yesterday.
No, this
dickhead.
is so
I'm sorry.
Best pick The Matrix.
Each of these movies is derivative to the point of satire, which makes sense given the sense of Ethan's humor. This is literally
I
Russian
think you're
disinfo.
right, love.
I think this might be ChatGPT just to trigger us.
Yeah.
I genuinely think
Yeah.
so.
Well,
Discourse.
they do have.
AB,
some
you got
positive
murdered out
things.
here.
Yeah. AB,
Best pick is The
what a
Matrix. Worst pick is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
That's
Unbelievable.
so stupid.
A racist recreation. It was made in China.
What?
It's made in
Racist?
China.
Oh my god, they called you racist.
I've never heard about it being
A
racist.
racist recreation of what if we did Matrix but with China? What's fucking
What?
racist? The Chinese, it's made by Chinese actors with a Chinese director in China.
Dude, the funniest one's Olivia's. The funniest one is Olivia's.
And also, they specifically sell the Michelle Yeoh fight scene as bad, which I said is like one of the
That is
best fight scenes
insane.
ever.
No, her standoff with the
I think it's.
disciple-
I think you're right that it is. I think this is rage bait, but it's very
Yeah.
good rage bait.
I'm first of all,
Kudos
before I
to you.
continue, I'm downvoting it. I'm burying this fucking thing further. AB got murdered. Best pick Godfather, worst pick
Olivia gets even
Goodfellas.
I don't
worse.
even want to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Goodfellas and most gangster movies. It's just not really a genre that I'm super into. But to say that's the worst pick and Goodfellas is like a bad movie, I don't get it. I don't get it.
This person said, Goodfellas is a pick I don't agree with. It's a fun mob flick, but many on Ethan's list, derivative and hack.
That's bullshit, man.
Dude,
That
fuck
hack,
you, bro.
Scorsese.
What are your favorite movies,
yes,
dickhead?
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
So all the comments are saying that.
Did they give their list?
Not that I saw.
Olivia, you got the worst one.
I
Man.
know, they're so mean to me.
Actually, no, Shoe Nice got a 1.
No, Shoe Nice got a 1 out of 10, which I appreciated that they included Shoe Nice.
Olivia, starting with Jon Favreau's Chef, is probably the funniest thing anyone has ever done on the podcast.
I stand
Juno
my
is a
ground.
good pick. They conceded.
Thanks.
This was an aesthetic setting movie at its time, and they're talking about Juno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Also with Captain Fantastic, Little Miss Sunshine, there's definitely an elicits a vibe that they talked about on the show. Okay, that's.
Millennial Gray Films.
I will say Olivia's honorables are very strong with Black Swan and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Thanks.
And yes, Olivia, you will love Royal Tenenbaums. Okay.
I mean, true. They're right.
But still,
That's
it
annoying,
didn't seem
though.
that harsh to give you a 3.
I don't like how they're saying that. And yes, Olivia, you will because it's like
I felt that way too.
with
Thank
my
you,
permission.
Ela.
They're like, yeah, you're so obvious. I know what you're gonna like.
And they're like, yeah, you follow that vibe. But
Yeah.
that vibe not even being able to like be coined by a film term. I'm not good enough for you, film boy. Like
People think they get very film criticky anytime anyone talks about movies.
You know
They have
what?
strong opinions, you know?
You know what? This guy's such a clown. Okay, first of all,
wait, you skipped the best part. Look,
Which
best pick, worst pick.
Yeah, this is the best.
best
part.
pick chef, worst pick chef.
I'll take it.
By the way, it just occurred to me because today's going to be a stressful day and there's lots of coming up here.
Boba?
Taco Bell?
I
you
would
eat
like
already,
both
Love?
of
You look
both of those
disappointed.
suggestions.
Damn, bro, you killing me out here. Yeah, I just ordered a burger.
How was it?
Brutal.
Haven't gotten it yet. It's on its
Oh,
way.
you haven't got it
Cancel
yet?
it.
Too late. He just picked the food up. But honestly, I'm happy with my burger because it's yummy.
Okay.
It's this one place.
How to do the hamburger?
It's for the win burger.
Maybe I should order from there.
Don't. You fucking dare.
Just to-
Sween.
Well, how about dessert? I'm kidding. I shouldn't.
Froyo.
Unless.
we can get, dude. The last time we got froyo and ice cream, I regret it because I get so bad with it.
Oh, then let's not do it.
By the way, speaking of which,
I
I've been hitting my protein hard and I've been
Yes.
exercising,
Yes.
and I think I've gained weight.
Oh, okay.
I think
Muscle
I've
weight.
Yeah, muscle weight.
Oh my gosh.
I got that MRI and it was like pitiful. It was so pitiful.
Have you been working out
Made
too?
some changes.
Yeah, that's why I've been working out.
Okay, well, great.
My doctor was like, "This is."
You gotta start moving, my guy.
Yeah.
He's like, he started goes, "Do you exercise?" And I'm like, "What do you think, doctor?"
Doctor.
Literally like 1% on my leg muscles. It's
God.
crazy.
We had an issue when we were taking the photos for the thumbnail today, and Ethan looked super chiseled. I thought he was sucking in his.
I guess I was. I didn't realize I was.
Or maybe you weren't. You said no. This is just my face. And I was like, "You sure about that?" He was mogging me. You were mogging me. What the fuck?
Get mogged, bro. That's how you do it.
Where'd your buccal fat go, bro?
Yeah.
I got that. It's called buccal fat,
Oh, my bad. Buccal fat.
and we don't talk about buccal fat because we get rid of it.
Right.
Bucko fat. Now this is why this guy's a total clown. He gives Dan a 7 out of 10, and
Still,
obviously
the ratings-
Dan is a pick me when it comes to.
Listen, the ratings are somewhat disconnected because he does have a lot of negative things to say about my pick.
Well, he says
roasting.
Mad Max Fury Road is a great list starter and underrated action flick. I am so sorry. Did you see the fucking critical?
Yeah, I don't think it's
critical
underrated
It's
at
not
all.
underrated.
I think it's
in any
appropriately
way.
rated. Yeah, I agree.
It's critically acclaimed. You dipshit.
I think it won like every Oscar for like design and audio and all that shit.
He says Big Lebowski brings the list down. I mean, get a life.
Up.
Yeah.
Sorry you don't know how to enjoy anything in life, freak.
So true.
By the way, what part did they not understand about this is a personal list?
That's the
per person. And
Burn
like,
After Reading, that movie sucks, bro.
Well,
He goes, I don't personally get the same feeling some do with this. Fargo, No Country, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and even Burn After Reading are far, far better. That is just an insane take.
I think that No Country for Old Men.
I love that.
I would probably say that is the better movie, but I enjoy The Big Lebowski significantly more.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's not about like the better movie. It's
Yeah.
about what your favorite movies are.
Yes.
And so Yeah, I mean, objectively, No Country is like a thought-provoking, really well-done movie, but I don't know.
Some movies, like when you watch them, it's like something changed in you. It's like
Exactly.
it's with you forever from that point.
Yep.
Now I gotta say, this is pretty hard hitting. Best pick, Mad Max. Obviously, this guy thinks it's underrated. And then worst pick, My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah, you got to read what they said. It's one of my least favorite Miyazaki's, as it's kind of like putting on Lo-Fi Girl and letting it play for an hour and 30 minutes.
What? That was
my God.
Honestly,
that kind of was my initial reaction. Just didn't strike me as the best movie.
It's not the most unfair characterization of the movie.
As a big fan too, I fully agree with that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's bad necessarily. You know, it's a chill out movie.
I don't like that phrasing.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I find it
feel
offensive.
I feel like when you've seen a movie so many times that you're able to have it on as like background noise, but
I have a breaking interjection from Nate.
Oh.
He says hating Desperado is racist.
That's I didn't want to speak too much on his behalf, but I got that vibe.
It sounds like Nate is a Mexican.
That's right.
I'm shooting ropes, bro.
Yeah, we can order some bobes.
Yes.
Bobes.
Huge day.
Aren't you actually want food though?
No, she doesn't.
I said I can do food secondary, but the boba is more of a need.
Also, you're Ethan. You gotta. You're gonna be having a conversation with somebody soon. You probably don't want to be
grubbing down on the Nacho Bel Grande.
Yeah, it's going to be way more convenient for you to drink boba.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you, I could even skip a boba. That's how uninterested I am.
Whoa.
Okay.
I could not even order
I mean,
anything.
we could do your food order too. What do you want?
But Dan has a good point. I don't want to be hitting a fucking Taco Supreme while talking about like a food blockade.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Not the best.
Not the best.
Are you hungry though? Because I mean, you are allowed to eat.
I am hungry. I've been working out.
You have?
100. Yes.
We just went over it.
Damn.
I'm trying
I was
to hit
thinking about my burger.
Bro, I'm trying to hit 150 grams of protein, which is literally insane, by the way.
It's so hard.
That's a
what
lot of grams.
That's what you're supposed to eat, apparently, for like maximum health. Even my doctor said.
Yeah, to me, I was told I need to eat 120, and
That's insane.
I am not getting anywhere close to 120.
You have to drink a smoothie. That's 25. I found these super high protein yogurts that I can kick back pretty fast. That has 25. These bars, by the way, which are like 19 grams, are unbelievable.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to find little tricks.
You know what? I'm
Eating meat is not going to get you there.
Eating meat will never get me there.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna join you because I've been looking to start working out. So I'll join you on that.
Carnivore diet.
Well,
after this burger.
The best motivator for me is my doctor being like,
This is
you have
terrible.
atrophy.
You're pathetically weak.
You have the skeletal muscle structure of someone who's been in
baby.
a coma for 5 years.
I probably do too. I was trying to get a glass from like the top shelf earlier today. I was like, why do I have some like workout, soreness?
Oh
and I was
my
like,
God.
what did I do yesterday? What did I do yesterday? And I realized why I had sore.
Oh shit.
Wow.
I accidentally got my fire alarms going yesterday, and I was waving a plastic lid to get rid of the smoke from the fire alarm.
That made you sore?
And I'm realizing that's the only physical thing I did yesterday. So that made my arm sore. I'm like, oh, damn.
All right, that's probably time.
And the good thing is that it's going to be really easy for us to put on some muscle.
I think so, yeah.
I'm
exercising to failure every time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I used to work out a lot back in Sweden, so I have the underlying.
And you moved to America, and what happened?
I got
That's the way it goes.
fat.
For me, it was
didn't
my
say
back
that.
pain. If I don't exercise, my back pain is like immediately showing.
That's
When I
a big
exercise,
part for
it's
me
gone.
too. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. You just
It's
got to build
all
up some
like
muscles back
muscle.
there to
Yeah.
support yourself better.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys that those Fairlife milkshakes are 30.
Yeah, I ordered those.
Yeah, someone from Fairlife actually reached out. I think they're a fan.
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You put them in touch with Tom Stat.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. It's a little drink, and it's got 30.
Kind of
which
like
is-
a chocolate milk flavor or vanilla, and it has so much protein in it. It's great.
Yeah, when you start actually trying to hit in like 150 grams, when you realize that, you're like, oh, so what am I supposed to do? Eat like a bunch of chicken breast? And it's like, you'd have to eat
I'd have to eat it
like
all
10
day.
chicken breasts.
That is no way that I'm doing that.
Nobody can do that. Like, yeah.
Believe it, this is the milk that we're drinking.
Shoe Nice got eviscerated, 1 out of 10.
One tip that my trainer just told me this week, because I was telling her how hard it is to find protein stuff and that I like, and she said to add cottage cheese to everything.
I love cottage cheese.
Yeah, and I do love cottage. So
Okay, I gotta move on because this is taking too long, but I'll read the conclusion.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by the lack of Tom Hanks films on these lists, like Forrest Gump. Sir, great Big? I'm sorry, I like Big, but that's not a best of all time. You're insane. Also, there's no Tarantino, no Pixar, no Kubrick.
There was a little bit.
I had Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, idiot.
Yeah, that one I
Wait,
love.
is this just about Shoe Nice or is this everyone?
No, this is just the
conclusion.
To be honest, these lists are quite surprising overall. Sentiment is often the first thing that comes to mind when someone picks their favorite film, especially when, quote, film isn't really something someone engages. Shut up. Someone whose favorite list is deeply personal and usually shapes that
The
person's
pretension
taste.
is off the charts,
My
bro.
purpose is to try and rate each pick objectively without any sentiment included.
Why?
I also never understood the hype around Big Lebowski, but to each their own. Then shut your mouth
Okay,
because
then
you have
shut
zero
up.
credentials.
Get out of here.
So did they ever list their faves?
Not that I saw.
Well, let's put up or shut up, bro.
Let us know. Let us know what you're liking. Well, they kind of give a hint. I mean, at least there's going to be a Tom Hanks movie on there. Perhaps Big, which I agree is like kind of an insane inclusion.
This guy's
and
like
really calls everything into question. Not
He's
that
a
it's a horrible
kid.
movie, but
He's a kid, and then he like starts kissing an adult lady when he gets older.
That shit is- and she knows he's a kid.
Yeah. It's
and she fucks him, I think. I think they sleep together.
No, so they don't find out till the end that she doesn't find out till the end. She sees him walking away and he turns back to the kid.
She wasn't upset. I think she kissed him.
I think they do hook up though.
Yeah, they
before she
fucked.
knows.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
touches
remember. It's been a
her
long time.
boobs.
No, he slept over. He
Right,
like
but
slept
that's-
over her house.
Wow. So now we know this freak who wrote this this report is a fucking freak.
Hold on.
It is such a
not
great
just because they
premise.
suggested Big as the movie. I mean,
it's-
people
I don't
do
know,
like that
they
movie.
jump to a lot of conclusions about me based on my favorite films.
I want to go that far.
I
A
know.
little bit of a self-report, if you ask
Somebody
me.
in this room is probably 3 dudes.
I am joking.
No way. No way
I'm
there is.
joking. It's a good movie.
A Christian Ike says a new member came out big and strong. Boy, 50 gifted. Thank you. So grateful
That's
to you. Thank you.
fantastic.
That is just a big,
That's
big,
amazing.
10 big booms.
Ethan, you for sure don't want boba because it's being ordered, and you're out.
Is there anything else on the list? And it's just boba.
It's just boba.
How
There
fast
was,
does Taco Bell get here?
Ethan, we're not ordering Taco Bell. We're
Takes
ordering
forever,
boba.
right? When
we-
It always takes a long time.
If it's a small order, it might
No,
not
same
take
with do both.
forever.
I guess usually, right? We do order like a bajillion things.
Well, just skip it. Well, you want to get home, whatever. Fuck it.
Do you want something to snack from here?
Boba. You know what? Last time, I got one that wasn't super sweet. That was good. They had like no sugar. It was like the milk tea with no sugar added.
Because since I've known you, you've always had
Don't
like
say it.
IBS.
We're talking
Does
about
that have to do with
food.
boba?
You've always been
It does
shitting
have a lot of milk, right? I mean, it's a milk-based drink.
I
not
just
all
want
of
to
them.
ask him if you've always been shitting your pants.
You want to ask Ian that now?
Jewish.
All right. That's enough.
There was a chat earlier, a super chat that I wanted to read. It's Jess said that she's been struggling with infertility for years, and now I'm 30, and I found out today I'm finally pregnant.
Yay! Congrats.
Oh, congratulations.
That's cool.
That's a perfect age.
Yeah.
You know? Good for you guys. Happy for you both. Get inspired here by DJ Khaled and the morning routine guy.
Oh.
Dude, I gotta say, Khaled always freaking delivers.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
This guy knows what he's doing, man.
Why does this look like AI at the same time?
It's not, and we can prove it actually.
So he's got like a weight thing on his chest, and then Khaled's doesn't close.
He also has a weight thing on his chest.
There's a longer version, apparently.
There was another post he did where he made sure to point out the shoes he's wearing because he's a big Nike guy. So he's like, check the J's.
Khaled's wearing a really nice watch, by the way.
So Ashton Hall is streaming on Kick apparently. So this was from his stream.
The sound is so funny.
Yeah, why don't we?
The cars gotta go next to them. The fancy cars.
How you feel?
Khaled puts this dude to shame with his wash, by the way.
Oh, Khaled's
Damn,
watch
what's
collection.
cracking, Khaled?
His little butt
His
thing.
crack. You can't really hide the crack at a certain size. God bless you. You just can't.
Bro, he's got this thing now. He does like ice bath or cold plunge, and he has like a mango tree next to it, so he'll peel it with his teeth.
What?
And then just eat the mango.
Sounds impressive.
That is.
Let's see. This guy absolutely destroys Phidias about Russian propaganda. I don't know, because I feel like we're running out of time because it's already 2.
We are. And there's a more important one. Number
the
5
main
you should
story.
skip to.
Yeah,
Number 5.
this was huge. This to
In
me,
fact,
I found this. And
Ethan kind of got in trouble in our group chat
Yeah.
because he was abusing. I think we've explained this on the show
Yeah.
before, but we use the siren emoji for when there's like a genuine emergency, like we need everybody's attention immediately.
Yeah.
And he hit us with like 10 sirens and then linked this video. Go ahead and show.
I still am not sure that it was a mistake, frankly.
No,
But
it was.
Absolutely.
you guys can judge for
Come on.
yourselves.
How dare you?
You stressed me out.
Yeah. And I'm gonna just preface that is you've never had an egg before? Yeah. And I'm gonna just preface that is sad. That is really sad.
It's terrible.
That is terrible.
Look at it now. It's a little sad, but
14 years of living, and you have never had an egg.
that's like a high tier breakfast food.
That is high
They're
tier.
not essential to breakfast.
That is an essential
I need
to
pancakes. I need waffles. I need French toast. That's all I need.
There's so many forms of egg that you could have tried.
French
Like,
toast has eggs.
You've never had an egg before?
I just
Do
was
we
my
believe
this
him?
14-year-old McLovin has never had a fucking egg, man. Where do you find these people? There can't be many people by age 14 that haven't tried an egg.
I don't know if I believe it, though.
I believe him. This guy's not a liar.
Yeah,
Where
bro,
are his
McLovin's done
parents?
nothing.
His parents are fucking.
Because there's no way his parents are not giving him egg.
I have
Are they
never.
vegan?
Unless they're vegan.
Well, he's eating
What?
French.
Wait,
toast.
yeah, hold on.
What'd you say?
I've never purposely ate an egg.
What do you mean?
What? You've never had scrambled eggs?
No. Or I've never.
Hard-boiled egg?
I've had the time. I pick out the egg from my noodles when they come in like a stir fry or whatever.
You ever
pick it out?
Hold on. You ever fried egg?
I've never.
You ever
eaten
had an
a
omelet?
Full egg? No.
You ever had an omelet?
What?
In
No.
order to comprehend,
You ever had a hard-boiled egg?
No. No, I don't like this.
Comprehend.
Like egg.
in order to comprehend and to eat
Whoa.
the omelet,
I don't remember ever eating an egg, like on purpose, cutting
I
out.
can't-
eggshell.
Why are
Can't
you avoiding
comprehend
egg?
that.
I think it smells bad, and when I have it in the ramen, I don't like it.
You know it's in like everything, like all the baked goods and
Of course,
stuff. Yeah.
but I don't like it. By
What about
itself.
as a kid? Did your parents not make you breakfast with eggs?
No.
No?
Well, he doesn't like melted cheese either, which is kind of an egg.
Yeah.
Oh.
He doesn't like melted cheese.
That's crazy.
It's
That
weird.
is crazy.
It's
Sorry to
wow.
ruin the mood, guys.
So well, hold on. I know. I know. Do we? I need to feed you some eggs.
I'm reeling.
I don't really want to.
Well, you should try it.
Try it for the show.
Also, you know what I really
really-
like with egg that you might like? Actually, you won't like it because there's cheese in it. But quiche.
Quiche.
I make a really good quiche. It's
I-
like a
That's
pie.
like the final boss for him.
There's
That's
another-
it. That is
Not like
mega
that.
egg. Yeah.
I don't like the
McLove?
idea of an egg either.
McLove over here.
It's just like kind
McLovin.
of raw. It's like kind of
Well,
a law.
Until you cook
Mentally.
it.
What about like how good
Meat
it
is
is
gross.
for you?
Or raw
Yeah.
meat is gross.
Yeah.
Gee whiz, man.
I know. It's just
It's hitting a
pulling
little
down the mood.
closer to home than I expected.
Yeah.
I don't know
was
how
sitting-
you
expect that.
live.
Wow.
What do you eat for breakfast?
I never eat breakfast.
Okay.
What's your favorite meal of the day?
If,
What do you-
if I were to, I'd make a toast with bread and ham on it.
That's close to breakfast. If they're
I mean, that's breakfast to me.
wait, just bread and ham. Do you add a condiment?
The ham. Yeah, the ham.
The ham is the condiment.
There's no sauce.
No.
It's
no,
just bread and ham.
Yeah, toast and some butter and some
Butter would be the lubricant.
Oh, okay. So butter. Yeah.
So you toast bread, you spread butter on it,
Yep.
and then do you cook the ham, or do you?
No, it's already smoked and cooked.
Do you heat up the ham?
No.
Oh, you eat it cold.
It's like that's not crazy, right?
No, I know what you.
Yeah, you open it up and it's already
Like
finished.
deli meat.
Deli, yeah.
Okay, so it's
Thin.
just sliced deli meat.
Slice.
Sandwich meat.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Am I
there's,
crazy?
there's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's like
there's like
sandwich
thick
meat.
slices of ham
No,
that
yeah.
people eat like
thin,
a steak.
Thin, yeah,
The
ham.
thin
So like
one.
sandwich meat
Thin.
that you would find. Yeah, okay,
They're like
okay.
super thin, like a
Yeah.
millimeter.
Yeah, I got you.
Sandwich meat.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes I do
So you
turkey.
toast the bread.
Yes.
You
yes.
put the butter, and
Yeah.
then the sandwich ham you put on
Yeah,
top.
the ham, well, maybe 2 slices. Yeah. And
Interesting.
then I eat it.
I just had 3 hard-boiled eggs this morning.
I can't do that. Every time you bring in your little bag with eggs, I'm like, oh, that is not great.
It is a little gnarly. I do like hard-boiled eggs. I think it's
It's been working for me.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I bake, so I eat. I know I'm eating egg, like in the baking. But
it becomes something else.
Yeah, it
though.
becomes something else. Yeah.
Huh.
You know, I think I'm reaching my limit on the hard-boiled egg consumption.
Ooh.
I've been doing that every day for like over a year.
I'm going the other way. I'm raising it from 2 to 3.
And I'm like, dude, I can't eat any more hard-boiled eggs, man. Such a great hard-boiled egg for the price to nutrition.
Yeah.
To the effort.
Boiling.
I don't know
One of
how
the
I
best.
could live without
It's
eggs,
very
to be
healthy. I don't know
honest.
if you know that level.
What was that?
Egg.
Egg? Oh, I just can't do it. I think I will never eat an egg. My dad's the same. That's probably where I get it from.
Oh my god.
Well, let me try to cook you an egg. Like here's an egg I think you might like. Hole in the bread. You
Hole
take
in
a
the
piece of bread, you put a hole in it, and then you fry an egg in the middle. It won't be runny at all. It won't be weird and runny. I'll cook it through.
Okay.
I love that one.
I'll try it.
And then you
obviously.
kind of fry the bread in oil, so it's super good. Super
Yeah, I
yummy.
bet it's probably good, but mentally, I don't think I could enjoy it.
I think if you're gonna like it, this would be it.
Okay. Well, I'm always down to try. It's just I don't think it's gonna happen. you know?
Okay, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, we're gonna have to explore that at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Deviled eggs, you would hate those.
Oh yeah.
This is
we
not
need
what
to do
podcasts are.
Shut up, Ian. You don't know shit about
horrible.
podcasting. Fuck you, dude. I suppose podcasting is when your wife freaking asks you about your shitting IBS.
Your dirty underwear.
Your dirty ass skid marked underwear. Is that what podcasting is?
No.
No. Yeah. Well.
Ethan
How would you
dumping
know?
as per usual.
A dumping. The only dumping happening is in your pants, motherfucker. I know because your wife told me.
I didn't send the skulls.
Oh yeah, let's get to that.
Oh right, yeah. So so where are we? There's a few.
You gotta pick what are we talking about because you're not gonna have time for everything.
I just wanted to show this an example of peak insanity. Caramel colored, whatever the fuck. This person, I don't know if this is actually them, but if that's actually a picture of them. But this has 3,000 likes on Twitter, which is obvious. It's not a lot, but for nobody it is. And so I put one of my stories was about how watch people just say I'm doing Hasbara, which is, it means propaganda in Hebrew. Mm-hmm. What people really mean when they say Hasbara is Jewish propaganda. That's why they use the Hebrew word for it. And they need a special word for propaganda for Jews. Nobody else gets a special word. Russian propaganda, Chinese propaganda, Nazi propaganda, fascist propaganda. Only the Jews. We're going to use their word to just so that you know it's not normal propaganda. It's Jewish propaganda. That's why they use the word Hasbara. And so I pointed that out. And this person said, "You stupid piece of shit. You are doing Hasbara propaganda. You and your dumb fuck racist wife defended Yoav Gallant. But here's the best part. You racist, demonic piece of shit. Fuck you, your wife, and your kids."
Thanks.
Catching strays.
Yeah, that's kind of the state of things online. And there's a reason Hasan nuked his Discord, I'll tell you. Yeah. It was the your kids part that was like, you wrote that with your face apparently in the avatar? Wow. Speaking of demons, so I saw a clip. I went demon mode in the stories, if you guys didn't gather.
Okay, Ethan.
And I'll show you the big moment. I dropped a little bit of a bomb, a secondary nuke, if you would. I saw this clip, and then I'll tell you how I reacted. Oh, this is just a picture.
Oh. What?
I can't play a picture.
No, you cannot. 1 second.
What?
It's from
Watch again.
Comes from the great.
Yeah, click watch again.
Yeet.
Yeah, just click that button.
Click watch again.
Where is it?
Right in the middle of the screen. Just click
No, it's
that.
a picture.
We'll just
Stop
click.
it.
Are you guys? It's a picture.
Watch it.
We're trolling you.
Well, just try.
Stop it.
We trolled you.
We got you, dude.
Listen, I know it's a picture.
We got you.
Watch it.
We got you.
You are the fucking.
Oh!
By the way, who's the dumbass boomers that put a picture in the document instead of a video link? Okay, it's way to fucking pass the buck on your boomer behavior.
You clicked the picture.
You clicked it.
Bro, you guys literally.
Okay, I think hold on. I think I got it here.
Literally owned yourselves, guys. Such a self-report.
so
I'm
owned.
laughing at you guys.
so
In my mind, I'm just laughing.
We trolled you, bro.
Tonight, when I
There's
go to
probably a
sleep, I'm
link
going to
if
be
you-
laughing and laughing about what idiots you guys are.
If you scroll down, you'll probably find a link in here.
So these guys are having obviously
That
a
one
hard
can't-
time locating it. Thank you, Olivia, who's
Wait,
finally.
open the one I sent. Open the one I sent because there's a spoiler in Olivia's.
All right,
Oh, wait, what's the video?
shut up. Stop right now. All right, here it is. So, iDubbbz called into Noah Samsen, also a great, totally cool dude. No problems with that dude there.
No.
Who's dressed as Scarface for the day to match his psychotic behavior.
Huh?
Because he got the split hair. Scarface.
Are you saying like the movie poster?
Scarface. Batman villain. It's half-half.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking.
His
I
name is
I
not
was thinking
Scarface.
the
the
poster
mystery?
for some
That,
reason.
his name is
You mean
Two-Face.
Two-Face, not Scarface.
Yeah, Two-Face.
Who was played by Tommy Lee Jones, who you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Wow.
It all comes.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
All right. At any fucking rate, let's watch. So he calls in to have a chat with Noah.
One last question. Did you send the skulls? What is your opinion on the skulls?
Why would
and
you
did
ask
send them?
that? Like,
Because they think it's a joke.
yeah.
They think it's funny. They like that it happened. And then also they
It's
say that I'm
activism.
lying. I'm lying. I sent it myself. It never happened. But also it's funny and we love it that it happened. That's basically everything.
I didn't send the skulls. I don't know. I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was like, okay.
So
That sounds pretty funny to me, bud.
That empathy unlocked thing that you were talking about, I don't believe it anymore. I think there's 0. I don't think you're even at 20%.
Well, I don't know what's not funny about receiving human skulls in the fucking mail.
Especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that.
Skulls Unlimited, which is the only place, by the way, in the entire America that sells skulls.
Is that
They
true?
are real.
I think so. They're like an exclusive retailer because guess what? It's not easy to obtain human skulls and sell them. That's generally a very dicey business to be
yeah,
in.
yeah. I'm. You know what? I'm glad there's only one place.
Yeah.
They are real, though. He's talking about it like it's some kind of prop or something.
Yeah.
That was a real human skull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Obviously, if someone just sent me a human skull in the box, that would be like a serious criminal investigation.
Right.
That would be like somebody got murdered, right? Allegedly. Who's fucking
humorous.
But he found it was funny. So, I mean, you know, since we're laughing about everything, I'm like, okay.
But that day for me
Let's have a
was really far from humorous. It was the day that was scheduled for CPS to come and talk to our kids.
Yeah, so, but,
All right, I guess I just will not talk about that day, but it was not a humorous day.
No, it wasn't. And I mean, Olivia, you guys opened it. You're the ones that fucking opened that shit. AB, that was you handling it, right?
Yes, it was.
It's just so funny that Ian is just being like, no, that was just funny. It was fake. It came from skulls.com and he probably sent it himself. It's humorous.
I can confirm that Ethan did not send it to himself, and
How do you know?
we were all freaked out by
I
it.
was scared out of my mind.
I mean, yeah, we have armed guards at the office now. That's not
Yep.
funny at all.
It was too,
Even though he's fantastic.
He really is
He
the
is the best. I love him.
they did make a decision to send 2 skulls, which I did interpret as a death threat to Ethan and I.
I saw it as nothing else.
Yeah, well, how else can it be interpreted?
Gold's thing was kind of humorous.
2 skulls showing up at a couple's house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not funny, but okay. We're going there. Okay, Ian, I hear you.
I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that. That made it funny.
Yeah.
Why?
Just a
Hey,
death
Ian,
threat to
remember the clip?
Father.
Remember the clip of me you like to show where I say, go fuck yourselves? Here's a new one. Go fuck yourself.
You fucking silly ass. Looking pirate ass. With the gold ass tooth.
So funny.
Jabba Ranks ass.
Bro.
If it's so funny, why you look so miserable? Like you are just dead.
He doesn't
inside.
know. He says it's funny, but he does not know humor. The joy is gone from his eyes, and you can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. Looks
Yeah,
dead inside.
his one gold tooth might shimmer, but the shimmer behind his eye out.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just a death threat to a father, a family.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Was it a death
just
threat?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. Skulls.com with this.
Who is this?
Who's watching this shit?
Both of these. Who are they?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people.
These people have no personality.
Right. It's like the two.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this pig bitch who's gonna come here and be like, I'm the most empathetic person in the world. I just can't help myself, and sit here and laugh about skulls being sent to my family, me and my family's house. Like, who the fuck is this?
Or the other guy next to him.
Well,
saying,
Noah, I expect nothing. The Noah's a total scumbag, and he's gonna get his. Don't worry. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not forgetting anything about what. There's so much happening for
I just
me.
can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Like, people who don't like us even had no problem saying, hey, this is too far. Like, this is actually crazy. Why is it that you think you cannot at least, like, say this is crazy? Because somehow that will make you, like, a Zionist? I don't understand.
Well, he doesn't know. He
that
agrees.
is what they think.
He thinks I'm lying, that I sent it myself, or that even if it did happen, it's funny.
No, but the bottom line is that they'll never say anything that slightly will side with us, because then they'll be Zionists.
No, because they want us to die. That's why.
Sure.
It doesn't even go that far. There's just literally nothing that could be too bad to do to us. Like, that's what causes this type of insane display of behavior. It's shocking. It's shocking. What a disgusting freak he's become. Holy shit, dude. So anyway, yeah, I mean, like I said, I've said this before, and I say it again, that the rules have changed for me, and you guys will soon find out what that means. But certainly my rules of engagement. I saw someone posted this clip on the subreddit of, I forget this guy's name, but he's doing a speech at a town hall, and he goes, "When they go low, I go lower."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not high roading anybody.
Well, you don't have to go lower. I don't like that.
Sometimes you
go the same level if you know, lower.
No, I'll go lower. I don't care. That's my thing. I don't, lower, and obviously that's a in the eye of the beholder, right? How low it is, but like my point
in
is,
space there is no up and down.
My point is that in this type of fucking information war where this guy's laughing about skulls being sent to my house, there's nothing I can say or do to this guy that's off limits.
No.
Even knowing that you shit your serial pants shitter, and you have fucking. How often do you buy new underwear? Be honest.
I don't even remember.
Probably a lot. You think he wears white undies? Anyway, here's this.
Serial number still attached, and the packaging still on it.
How does that matter?
To be honest, I didn't know anything about it because I think it was
because you're
linked
stupid
to
as fuck. You don't know anything about anything, dumbass.
It seems like he knew enough to think it was funny and silly and
You
great.
thought you knew enough to make a content cop, but you don't know anything. You don't know shit.
I think Ian still thinks he like he got a dub on that content cop, even though, by the way, they lost their event, which is in total fucking shambles. They fucked over everybody in the event who's like bitterly unhappy with it. And then Anisa has the balls to go on her podcast and say, I'm happier than I've ever been.
She
Like,
just said
what
that.
a twisted, pathetic,
Yeah.
selfish, narcissistic, self-obsessed freak these people
Genuinely
are.
the happiest I've ever been.
And then they come and talk about how
she
they're most
just said
empathetic.
that just to make sure you guys understand. This isn't a soundbite from like a couple months ago. She just
Can you
said
pull
she's
that?
the happiest
Can we
she's ever
find that
been.
timestamp? I know, but
Considering
it's
everything
short.
that's going on.
It's short. Yeah, but anyway, let me get through this video.
as like a was it a response to my content cop, or was that before? I don't even remember.
Do you think
But
he sent the skulls himself?
I don't. Let's put it this way. I don't endorse sending skulls to anyone's houses.
It is a funny prank, though. It's a silly, funny time. I enjoyed it. He's like, I enjoyed it.
What if they
Especially
ordered?
ones.
What if they ordered from skulls.com?
If you run skull,
What?
Yeah. So in listen, in honor of Hasan, Ida was finding this funny. There's a certain piece of information that I've known about him that I've been holding my tongue because, listen, it's not necessary. It wasn't necessary to go there, right?
Yeah.
And well, I'll tell you what it is. It's you guys are gonna love this. Ian, and you were there. It was in the Jeep we were driving. We were all in the car together. And he goes, I was talking to him. We were hanging out. We just did a video, and I started asking him about his like his love life. I was curious because I've just never seen him. And I was like, do you get out? How do you meet people, you know? Because he's kind of just like living in like, he was living by himself with like his parents or some shit. And I was like, and he was a successful YouTuber. I was like, what's going on, man? I was trying to help my boy out.
That was like his golden era.
In his golden era, yeah. And he told me that he had never had a girlfriend. He had never been with a girl. He'd almost practically never even talked to a girl romantically. And this was right before he started dating Anisa. So Anisa is the only person that Ian has ever so much has. She's the only partner he's ever had. Which, and again, that in itself is not a problem. That's fine. That happens all the time. It's normal. What is funny is in the context of their whole relationship. I find that detail very funny. And I think that this is the Virgin iDubbbz bomb. And I'm sorry if you think it's inappropriate, but I find it, quote, humorous.
I think it's so humorous.
I think it's I honestly, if you want to talk about what's funny and what's not, I mean, this is objectively funnier. You know,
Humorous?
You be like, oh, that's out of pocket. You shouldn't have said that, but like, it's funny.
Humorous?
You know what I mean? Sending human skulls to someone's house isn't really that funny. I fail to see the humor in that.
Kind
Personally,
of, humorous.
although what do I know? I'm just one of the top podcasters on YouTube, right? Right?
A house with kids, by the way, who could open the package as well. And it would be very nice to explain to them what's in that package, right? What a fun, humorous day. As a
You know what would have been funny if they sent us a humorous bone? Is that what it's called?
Humor.
Isn't there a humorous bone?
It's your funny bone, yeah.
What's what's happening, guys? You don't know about the humorous bone?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know what.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. The long bone in the upper arm.
It's called the.
It's okay, right? Because it's not spelled the same way. I see what I didn't. It's too high level of humor for me. I apologize.
Oh, it's not. It's that's straight up humorous bone. Humorous bone.
H3H3
Yeah,
humor.
Humorous. It's literally said humorous. It's the long bone in the upper arm connecting the shoulder to the elbow, Dan.
Right, yeah.
If they sent us the humerus bone, then maybe I'd have a laugh.
Free humor.
It's very, yeah. No, that's good. That's
True.
good. It's great. It's great even.
I thought I was cooking.
You were? You cooked.
So anyway, I think that it's important that people understand this about Ian's story, is that he was a virgin. He had never even kissed a girl. And then he met Anisa, who took his virginity and everything else. But also, that's just the context there. A little funny gag. It's a humorous little gag. I like the detail. It's funny.
Pufferfish donated $50 and said, "Really appreciate having Hila in the war segments."
Hila's ready.
I am all in on this war, baby.
Yeah.
The pufferfish.
This is survival.
It is, and I mean, yeah. And so, it is also. It's very interesting. That's all I'll say. Right? It's just, So take that with you, guys, please. Everybody take that and absorb it and understand that that's part of Ian's legacy. Thank you very much.
No.
And again, it's not like, oh, dude, this guy never got laid. That's not what's funny about it. It's that in the context of their relationship, like you could be in like a normal, healthy relationship and be like, actually, I've never had another partner. And you'd be like, wow, that's crazy. But like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that interesting. In the context of his relationship, it is very funny and very interesting.
Yes.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Take that, guys, please. Let's see here. Now there's something we got to get to about the Justin Bieber thing.
I think we should skip it and go to the.
Oh, we still
have to talk about more stuff before the call.
So maybe we'll see how long the call goes, and then we can go to the Biebs convo. You wanted to confront me. No, that's a bad segue.
Pretty awful segue. Yeah.
So tell me about the Biebs thing real fast.
Okay.
You had a problem. You want to show? We said we had a mess. We had a short message in WhatsApp.
Okay. So throughout my time here at the podcast, I have been I've wanted you guys to hear me when I say that Selena Gomez is my girl and Justin Bieber is the problem. I have in the past said that Haley is also part of the problem. While I do still feel that she was mean when she was growing up on Twitter, Justin Bieber is the main problem, and let me show you this. He posted on his Instagram page Haley's first USA solo Vogue cover. Mm-hmm. This is a huge day for her. Not only that, her beauty line, Rhode, was let into Sephora, and it was announced that same day. Huge day for her.
Huge day.
If you say so.
Okay, so Justin posted some of the photos from her shoot, and he captioned it. And when I saw this, obviously, I sent it to the chat because I thought that
you were
Of
outraged.
course, I thought, of course, finally, you guys would be like, "Oh my God, you're right."
Mm-hmm.
He captioned it. Yo, this reminds me when Haley and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know, so mean. For some reason, because I felt disrespected, I thought I gotta get even. I think as we mature, we realize we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy and connection. So, baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover, because clearly I was sadly mistaken.
So, to me, this guy is obviously emotionally stunted, right? Like clearly based on his ramblings, his weird ungrammatically. You know what I mean? He's probably got homeschooled. How much grammar do you think his mom know?
I don't know what that means. Billie Eilish was homeschooled.
Well, it's not always a bad thing, but I think there's probably a stigma. If you get homeschooled, you're probably a dum-dum. I mean, who's teaching you? Your
I don't know if
mom?
we can make such a...
No, come on.
I don't know.
Not everybody homeschools a dum-dum.
I think it's fair to say that Justin Bieber is potentially emotionally stunted.
Yeah,
I think he got super famous, super young.
Yeah.
He has displayed some behavioral...
Dude, imagine everything where'd you learn that? My mom.
But also, Mother's Day just happened, and he said, what was it on
Say it again?
Instagram? What was the thing he
That
said
one
about
was
Mother's
out of
Mother's Day, he posted a note that said, "Love all you moms, but Mother's Day sucks ass." This
Yeah.
is Haley's first Mother's
That
Day
one was
ever.
rude. I concede totally.
He's so, and so it's
So then this
everything
is
on
after
top
that.
of each other.
Okay, but so the way I interpret this was him trying to own his gross behavior. He's being frankly more open, he's opening himself more to hate by admitting that he said this awful thing to her, and then closing it by saying that he was obviously sadly mistaken.
Sadly.
Not for her. I think that was poorly worded. He means like
happily.
Yeah, exactly. I know what he meant. He was saying like it was sad that I said that.
Okay, how about this? So first of all, I had sent it in the
And
chat.
so I was like, I think frankly, this seems like he's trying to be nice.
yeah, Ethan responded with one message, and he responded to the link, and he said, "This seems nice." I lost my mind. Let me explain something to you. Hailey Bieber has an aspiring model from when she was like a young teen.
Nice.
She was
Sing it, but-
constantly like in the model scene. Her friends were on the cover of Vogue. Like Kendall got a Vogue cover 2015. Not only that, his ex-girlfriends have gotten Vogue covers. So not only the fact that he said it publicly, I'll get to that, but the fact that he said that to her privately by like basically saying you won't get a Vogue cover like my exes.
Of course he should have done it privately, but he's insane.
We should have never done it. And then that's probably one of Hailey's like most hurtful, embarrassing like feelings that she I just
But
can't
he's
imagine
owning
that.
it. He's
But
like, what an
telling
asshole.
everyone
because
that he said
he's
that.
making her look good, right?
No,
he
no.
is. He's saying, I'm an asshole. I'm a piece of shit. I said this horrible thing to you that was totally unfair, and by the way, totally wrong. If you read this, nobody's being like, oh, nobody's thinking that everybody's thinking that Justin's an asshole and that she achieved something in spite of him.
No, I just feel like if for some reason, if you ever said something like that to Hila, which I know that you would never do because you truly believe that she would be on the cover of Vogue, as do I. If she got a Vogue cover and you had said something mean to her in private that you are ashamed of from like back then, wouldn't you just let this be her moment and say, Hila, you look beautiful?
Of
Congratulations.
course, but like this is Justin Bieber.
Well, what about in 2015 when Kendall Jenner, who he allegedly hooked up with, got a cover, and that's Hailey's best friend? He posted the cover and he just captioned it, "Congratulations, Ken, you look beautiful."
Because he's fucking insane, and like he's emotionally.
He had to make the day about himself. Then he posted.
Hold on. Let me clarify.
Okay.
Would it have been better for him to not say anything, or to just say congratulations, I love you?
Yeah.
Yes. Was his intentions good or bad in this? As fucking dumb as he is, and as emotionally dysfunctional as he is, I think his intentions seem to have been good.
Okay, maybe, but can I counter that with a few arguments?
Sure, absolutely.
He's been quite. I don't know. He's been like kind of taking shots at her online. Like it's not out of nowhere, and not only this. On the same day. Remember, Hailey's beauty company was let into Sephora. This is a huge day for her in totality. Can you open that screenshot, Dan?
That means Justin's getting paid,
On the
by
same
the way.
day. Right, so this should be a great day for both of them.
Hell yeah.
No.
This one?
No.
No? Oh, I'm sorry. This one. Okay, got it.
He posted this on the same day with the caption. It was a photo of like pink stingrays, and it says, "On tough days like today, on hard days like today." These little.
Insane. I saw that one. It's nuts.
It's the same day.
I haven't seen this.
He's definitely trying to like humiliate her in a weird way.
This is on the same day that she got.
This is on the same
cover?
day?
Yes. Same day she got the cover. Same day her beauty company was let into Sephora.
Dude, he's
hard
bananas.
days like today.
Their marriage, based on what I can see, is in total turmoil. It's on the ropes. He's giving Crowder, Steven
People
Crowder. You know what I
poll.
mean? Like that's what the vibe at home is. I get the feeling. You know what I
People
mean?
want a poll, Dan.
It probably is, right? I'm sad to say, but like, you don't talk to your fucking just giving birth wife. You don't, you know what I mean? Like, unless you're really pretty twisted. That being said, when I read that, I was like, doesn't seem that bad.
I think isolated, maybe. Totally.
We could do a poll, though,
the intentions
obviously.
could be sweet.
Who do you think's right, Ethan or Olivia? Is that the
So
poll, or
hold
how
on,
do you
no. Do you think Justin's intention was to be mean?
He has a song
Okay.
called Intentions.
No.
Do you think
He does? Oh my
These are
gosh.
my
But no, let's be as clear as possible, Dan. Were Justin's intentions good or bad? And then it's good, or
Good,
bad.
bad. That's a great way
Thank
to
you
put
so
it.
much.
Intentions.
Thank you so much. Now,
Good.
I think his intentions were good based on, just my fucking,
All right. Can
we
I tell
go.
you one more thing?
Bro, I just filmed an entire. I spent a fortune filming a whole thing at an orchestra just to clown on him. Okay, nobody accused me of siding with Bieber. Okay,
Can I tell
go
you?
Ahead. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay.
So, this is not the first time he's antagonized his girlfriends online or wife or partner. Back in the day when him and Selena were on and off, this is just one of the examples. I think I put it in my original PowerPoint presentation. Selena Gomez went to an awards show. She went to the spring break premiere and she wore a Dolce dress that not long after Justin Bieber posted a photo of another model wearing, and he wrote, "Love the Dolce dress. Like, I see you in that. You look hot."
Yeah, it's insane.
Right after Selena wore the same dress.
But he's never been like, look at me, I was a giant asshole.
No, he has.
What did he say?
In articles, he said like, I've been abusive in my past relationships. I didn't treat women with respect.
But like,
he has been candid about that.
Okay, whatever. I'm not dying on this hill. I don't care. 39%. I'm obviously in the minority here.
Can I tell you one more
intentions
thing?
were good. Yeah.
So Selena Gomez, my
People are
girl.
spamming bad poll. I don't know how. I usually don't look at chat.
Oh no. It's a bad
I know
poll?
I know people meme, but how do you tell if it's actually a bad poll or a good poll? Like
I've given up.
I felt that this was a good poll.
Given up on.
I felt it was a good poll too.
They say the same thing with the audio. So
Oh,
it's
that's
like we
gotta be so
can't.
true.
Yeah.
You guys.
Okay, I actually have.
Yeah, there you go.
I have an important question here.
Yes.
About this whole situation.
Yes.
So in his post, here I'm going to pull it back up so I have the exact wording here ready to go. Okay. This last line. So,
Yeah.
baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get the Vogue cover because clearly I was. If this word sadly
He
was
didn't-
sorely, which I think might have been what he meant. 'cause
That's
that
what
is
he
the
meant.
more
It's
common
definitely-
expression.
Sorely
It's definitely
Because clearly I was sorely mistaken.
It doesn't. If he meant like I'm
Does that
sad that you
change
never.
the whole like vibe with that one word?
That's definitely what he meant
well, I
based on the
assumed that's what
the
he meant
preface.
anyway.
Yeah.
It's
well,
just
because
telling.
it means something. No,
Okay, Dan.
it kept
hold on,
getting.
Dan's coming around.
It kept. Well, it just kept getting pointed out
Yeah.
that the sadly mistaken is like the craziest part of
That
this,
was
which
just-
I agree.
yeah,
that's
that's just bad
terrible.
writing.
Right. But if he really did just mean to say sorely mistaken, does
Yeah.
that not
It
shift the
changes
tone?
a tiny bit.
Just a tiny
That's
bit.
how I read it.
Okay, well, I was just saying, I wanted to clarify.
Because if you read
Something I was thinking
what
about.
leads up to it, doesn't make sense. If he's like, "Baby, forgive me because I am so sad that I wasn't right," like it doesn't make sense. He obviously meant that.
No, I
Yeah.
understood the sentiment. I think he
Yeah.
worded it poorly. It was just funny that it was sadly. But I still like him still making it about him and like the meanest thing he's ever said to her. Like, why would you remind her of that on that day?
I'm still on your side.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
I think what
obviously.
you're saying is like this. You think in like a Justin Bieber scale.
He was trying to be nice.
This is good for him.
Did it make her feel bad? Does she not
Yeah.
like that
He
people are talking
changed the
about him
caption.
and that it's about like him being abusive to her instead of her achievement? Yes. Was he?
So he
I think he
changed
went in
it?
his own sick way. He was trying to be nice. That's it.
He changed the caption to this emoji. Like, I don't know.
Shrug, you, heart, and cryy eyes.
And like
zoom in.
Proud eyes.
Probably after everybody was pointing out.
Yes.
It's shrug. What's the second one?
Pointing at you.
Shrug. You.
Like the people.
Heart.
Love.
It's like, I don't know. Love you.
Why shrug?
It's him being like, I don't know what the fuck I did.
Yeah.
So whatever I love you is probably how I would.
Huh.
But my thing is,
who cares?
I actually think it's a little bit of a bad Paul. Hear me
You
out.
do?
Because I don't give a fuck about Justin's intentions. He did.
Well, that's what we're arguing about, though.
Yeah, he came off as a douchebag,
Listen,
and he's a douchebag.
No, but the
So-
argument.
We
One and
agree on
two.
that though.
The
Everybody
argument
agrees on
is
that.
not whether he's a douchebag. It's what his intentions were.
Yeah.
Well, then, I guess my personal opinion is that it doesn't matter what his intentions were.
But that's a
Because
different.
this happens so
It's
often.
a different conversation.
I know. That's why I've been quiet through this segment because I don't care about his intentions. He's a douchebag.
He is.
He is.
Yeah, he is. That's for sure.
All right, can I tell you something amazing?
Can I go to the bathroom, or you? This for me.
It's
I'll wait.
for you.
Okay, I'll wait.
It's about Selena Gomez. So, Selena Gomez probably saw all of this going down, and people noticed that she had liked the collab post between Sephora and Rhode that said that Rhode was coming into Sephora, which Selena has a beauty company as well that is sold in Sephora. And Selena posted a story with a text post, and the words said, "Your heart matters, you matter," with the accompanying caption that she wrote, "You know who you are, and I'm cheering you on."
Wait, hold on. Who posted that?
Selena.
So Selena posted this, and
That-
what Olivia
day
is
after.
saying is that this was directed at Haley.
I think it was.
But do you think she sent this to her, or is
No, I think
her
she's putting it on
story.
her story. They
a
follow each other.
Public show. Of
Okay, this whole cryptic fucking subtweeting
Justin
is
started
annoying.
it.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then we'll get into the
Okay.
the Hasan
We'll move on.
hate.
This has resulted in me following Hailey Bieber on Instagram and
Oh,
supporting
big
her.
news.
Big news.
Big
I know.
news.
I really hope she's okay. Thank you.
Very nice.
Long
the
time
world is
coming.
healing. The world is healing.
No.
No. Also, I meant to read this while Ethan was still here, but just to acknowledge you, Gigi. I'm a senior software engineer at a Fortune 500 company, and I was homeschooled. Also, shout out moms. My mom is a genius and the best teacher. So there you go. There you go. It can work out.
Well,
Can work out.
you're lucky because your mom's a genius, but maybe some moms aren't geniuses.
Right. Right.
Just to be clear.
Just to be clear.
Rapist!
Well, Nikki said, Dan, how close was the end of Evangelion to making your honorable mentions? My boyfriend is a fellow July 21st. Hey, shout out. And Dan Truther. But he's losing faith because I didn't include that movie. It actually, when I was putting together my list on Letterboxd, it was on the list at one point. I decided to remove it because I feel like though I very much enjoy the movie, you can't really enjoy the movie without watching the series. It's a conclusion to the series, and therefore it just didn't. I don't feel like it really stands on its own. I do think it's brilliant though, and is super enjoyable. But yeah, you had to make some cuts.
Real quick, I just played a soundbite. I did not mean to play that soundbite. I slipped my finger. It was totally inappropriate. I apologize.
Wait, what was the soundbite?
It was Bo Black saying "mom" R-word. I did not.
Jesus!
I did not mean to play that.
What the fuck?
I apologize profusely.
Wait, your finger slipped? Do you have that on a hotkey?
No. I meant to play the mom part, not the second part.
Oh,
I
okay.
apologize profusely.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the clarification.
What's the he says mom R word?
Let's just move forward.
Okay.
Okay.
That's your
doesn't
wish.
matter. It doesn't matter. It was a mistake.
I'll research it on my own
mistake.
time.
We'll talk later.
There were some other super chats I wanted to thank. Where are you? Where are you, my super chats? Thank you to our members, by the way, who joined us for that show yesterday. And yeah, if you want to hear a whole lot more about Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber, and Hailey Bieber Baldwin, Bieber Baldwin, check out yesterday's episode, the girls
Totally.
ep. It was just Olive, Hila, and Lena just chopping it up. Just three goyles chopping it up.
And one more tidbit. Yesterday, Justin Bieber supported Chris Brown. He said, "Welcome home."
Well, that was a spoiler for the episode.
Well, that happened right at the end.
We discovered it live on the
Yeah.
air. Okay. Let me scroll back because there was a big giant super chat earlier that I want to go back. Actually, here's a $50 one. You missed my super chat last week. Sad face. Sorry. Rewatch Talk. I am a photographer at Everything But the House and recently shot a Patek Philippe Grand Complications at work. You'll have to sort by ended items on our site to see the listing. Okay. Well, I'll pass that.
That is a spicy meatball.
That's a spicy meatball, huh?
spicy meatball.
I'll take your word for it.
Did somebody say complications?
Huh?
Yes. I think they shot the.
They're talking about watches.
So the super chat said they just shot a Patek, and I think it's the super mega one.
Really?
With the bell, you know, and the alarm in it.
Oh, dude.
I mean, that's next level. Shit.
That's like next level. That one costs like $6 million.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's so ridiculous.
We have a new overlay, Ethan. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you to our brilliant new
Tamara the Goat.
Tamara the Goat, the intern.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
We should say too, Tamara also, that animation that we play whenever Ethan goes to the bathroom, she also came up with that.
And she's cooking up some pretty spicy meatballs.
Yeah, so she's cooking up some new graphics and all that kind of stuff for us, and she does it, she hand animates it. It's actually pretty cool. She draws it on paper and photographs it like old school
Tamara,
style.
should I say, do you mind if I say like that what you've done before? You don't, okay. It's you guys know her as Undead Mummy.
Yeah.
And she made the Nathaniel Klein, the live the stop motion. That was like insanely moving and beautiful. So she's local. So she's a student and she's interning for us over the summer.
During the summer break.
And I actually have the doll that she used for.
Oh yeah, there it is.
I saw it. Yeah,
that's
dude,
really cool.
Amazing.
That was so cool.
Genuinely, such a moving, beautiful. Wow.
It was very nice. Okay.
What did that? Okay, so anyway, yes, let's move on. We're running.
let's
So
log
wait,
in.
he's calling at 3. Okay. So then, let me just try to blast through this Hasan stuff.
Nice. Yeah.
Let's see what Hasan's been up to since this DC shooting. On the evening of May 21st, that was 2 days ago, 2 staff members outside of the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. No, sorry, 2 staff members of the Israeli embassy were tragically shot and killed outside of a Capital Jewish museum. The victims, Yaron Lishinsky and Israeli diplomat Sarah Lynn Milgram, an American citizen, were a couple planning to get engaged. The suspect, Elias Rodriguez, a 31-year-old from Chicago, allegedly opened fire on the couple as they were leaving a diplomatic event hosted by the American Jewish Committee. Rodriguez shouted, "Free, free Palestine." It's on. There's a video of it. During his arrest, and allegedly told the police, "I did it for Palestine. I did it for Gaza." Rodriguez has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder under. Yeah. Anyway, he's been charged. They arrested him. Yada yada. The FBI is investigating it as a hate crime, which I love. It's like,
we're not sure.
It's a tough one to call. So obviously, as soon as this happened, there was going to be a lot of finger pointing, right? And a lot of shirking of responsibility. Obviously, this is exactly what me and a lot of people have been talking about. That when Hasan and iDubbbz look me in the fucking face as non-Jewish people and tell me that I'm hallucinating threats, that I'm hallucinating anti-Semitism, this is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And these were a young Israeli couple. This shooter went there and shot 2 people at random. He went outside the Jewish museum, who was having an event that night, and he just killed the first 2 people outside of it that were coming out from the event. So this whole narrative that it's just not anti-Semitic because is bullshit. He could have easily just killed some American Jews that had nothing to do with Israel, but he happened to kill 2 Israelis, which makes it apparently, if you ask a lot of people online, totally fine.
I was reading they were going to get engaged
next week. Yeah,
yep.
Israel.
Beautiful young couple, honestly. Very, and the details of it is just horrific. Like when it's one thing to read and be like, they were murdered, and that's horrible. But then you read like he went up, he shot them in the back, and then the girl was trying to crawl away, and he went up and shot her in the head twice. And then the guy stood up and tried to help her, and he shot him in the head again. Like he assassinated them both in cold blood.
Yeah.
And you know, people like Hasan want to pretend like this is terrible or whatever. This is what you've been. This is what you want. What do you think globalized the Intifada means?
This is also
This is what the Intifada is.
This is what we all knew from that first episode after October 7, where you and Hasan were talking about what happened, and Hasan would refuse to show any tiny bit of empathy to the Israeli side.
This one guy was like, and all these heroes parachuted in and ruined these hippies' day. I'm sure they're fine. Ha ha ha. It's like, what?
It's like, to us, it's been clear that it's heading in this direction.
It's funny, these guys love talking about manufacturing consent. This is what you've been doing. You've been building intentionally. There's no other outcome that makes sense than this. When you dehumanize an entire group of people, when you describe, Hasan described, anyone who's ever had any type of Zionist feelings in their life is not fit to be a dog catcher, who's a Nazi. This is what happens, right? You're basically giving these people permission to act out violence on anyone outside of a Jewish museum in Washington, D.C. And, you know.
And he knows that too. I mean, he's calling me a terrorist now regularly. He knows what he's doing when he does that.
If you're a terrorist, then that justifies the craziest people in his audience doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, these people who were murdered, who people are celebrating now online and making excuses for and this and that, there's essentially no difference between them and us. They're just two Israelis that happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Weren't they also American, by the way?
One was American.
Okay.
I think. But they were both Israelis. That could have been me and Hila. And if it was me and Hila, these people would be cheering. They would be celebrating. They would be.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so why the fuck would I ever want to be a member of a community that would celebrate my fucking murder? That doesn't sound like a community that's got my back, personally. I mean, that's kind of the definition of it, of not having my back. Shooting me in the back, more like. Literally. And so, you know, it should be obvious to anyone of sane mind that looks at this and say, these were two innocent people who were murdered in cold blood. Also, this guy who's doing it for a movement, on behalf of a movement, which is already, this movement is getting like a lot of bad press from this and that. And like it's a movement with a really good intention that's getting a bad reputation because of people like him. And these people who are supposedly pro-Palestinian are they're quick to defend him, which not all of them, but a lot of them are, especially online leftists and Hasan and all these leftist Twitch freaks, because there's literally no reason to defend him or even rationalize, because it doesn't help anyone, right? It makes their movement look bad, and it promotes violence against random fucking Jewish walker buyers. You know what I mean? That's what Hasan always says. I just channeled that from him. You know what I mean? And you know, this is exactly what is the logical next step of where this type of dialogue has been moving. It is. This is what happens when Bad Empanada plays a game where he hunts Hila in a video game and kills her, right? This is what happened when Noah Samsen makes a video saying, protesting is not working. We know where they are. We know where the propagandists are. And we know, and we need to step it up. We know where they are, and we need to step it up. Protest isn't working, right? This is what happens when, you know, Hasan refers to Jews as inbred, or he refers to all Zionists as
he also
Nazis.
Yes.
Well, now people think there's nothing you could do to a Nazi that would be out of pocket, right? Murder all Nazis, right? That's how evil they are. So when they say, "Oh, they're Nazis," this is giving
It's like
permission.
okay, so everything is on the table.
Everything's on the table. And that's what's insane to me. That's what, from the beginning, which seemed obvious to me, that nobody wants to grapple with. Sam Cedar looked me in my fucking face and told me I'm causing anti-Semitism. You know what I mean? And like, what world are we living in? Hasan has one of his Jewish tokens he keeps around, who he restored, who's like, I refuse to admit this was anti-Semitism. This was a reaction to Israel's apartheid. It's like, bro, it happened outside of a Jewish museum. 2 random people were killed. What the fuck do you need to know? Like, what more do you need to know? It's so pathetic, bro. And this is what I knew from the very beginning. Like you said, when we first had that conversation with this guy laughing about a bunch of innocent kids being raped and murdered by a terrorist group, and Hasan sitting there and being like, I don't know enough to say.
And this was before Israel even reacted.
That's it. That's the part too that you always have to consider. Is people say, oh, this is just because of what Israel's done. Then how do you explain October 8th? You know? How do you explain the middle of the night, October 7th, when Frogan's saying shit like, this is just revolution. This is what revolution looks like. You know? This is the natural progression of the type of language that all of these people are using.
It's really dangerous language.
And by the way, this is one event that's happened. And honestly, it seems likely that more is going to be happening. And it really depends on how people react to it. Because a lot of people are, like they love to say, manufacturing consent. How far does this go? You know, who's a valid target exactly? And do we trust these people who are out there murdering people to make a distinction between Zionists and Jews? Do you think that they're making that calculation as they pull up to a Jewish museum and just unload on a young couple who just walked out of the building? And then not only to unload, but to fucking walk up to them and execute them as they beg for their life, fight for their life. You know what I mean? What are we doing, guys? What are we doing?
I've seen Hasan also say, like, I think maybe it was in relation to when he was conflating what you said. You said the Jewish history in the Middle East, and he was like, what Israeli history in the Middle East? He was doing it on purpose. And then he goes on to say, Israel heritage is only apartheid, death and destruction, genocide. That's all they are. And that is so dangerous.
That's one half of it, right?
Saying that, to me, it's like, okay, I need to watch my back everywhere I go because I'm Israeli.
Dude, Jewish people are like afraid in this country.
That is so dangerous to say that.
It's funny for people who are not Jewish to laugh in my fucking face. Like when I made a message that was like, just so you guys know, that could have been me and Hila, or basically any other Jewish couple that you know that just happens to be there. And Hasan's response is, leave it to Ethan to make this all about himself. Like, and that's acceptable statement to make in the wake of a violent tragedy, a violent, hateful tragedy, right? To express that I don't feel safe. And by the way, I don't. Because the way that people talk about me and Hila being fucking terrorists, baby killers, propagandists, genociders, right? Everything bad that you could say. They say if you tell from the people who talk about me, I'm as bad as it gets. I'm not even like a little pro-Israel. I'm like it's like I strangling babies with my own bare hands if I could.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to the left. Like what happened to inclusion, to understanding different backgrounds and different cultures.
Bro, it's even
like
worse.
I did the army. You know how long ago it is now? It's almost 20 years ago that I did the army.
Yeah, because you were a kid.
I was
you're
18
an adult,
and
you're
I'm
grown up
gonna
now.
turn 38 this year.
Yeah.
That was 20 years ago.
Of course. And so, like, of course I don't feel safe because of what you people are saying about me. Because of everything you guys are saying. And if somebody's convinced enough to go outside of this and kill 2 random people, why the fuck shouldn't somebody feel comfortable coming to my house and killing me and my fucking family? Am I crazy? Are you actually going to look me in the face and say I'm crazy for being afraid of that happening? Who would look me in the face and say that's not something I should worry about? You think this guy coming up to my house and killing me and Hila would feel any different? Do you think that the reaction online would be any different?
No, I know what the reaction will look like.
So what are we working towards here? What exactly is the goal here?
That's the problem.
What is the goal of this movement exactly? Not the Free Palestine movement, which has a noble goal, but this online leftist, fucking violent, obsessed. And you look at the behavior, you look at the history of leftists calling for violence, which I showed in the content nuke. They do it openly on Twitch and without being punished. Mike from PA literally said, the only way to get to me is to give me till I'm bleeding from my mouth.
Right.
He said that on Twitch and he wasn't
no
punished.
punishment.
He was not punished. This fucking...
And what happens every time they're not punished? They double down.
And then guess what Mike said when these guys got killed? He says it was a psyop.
Yeah.
No, dude. It's because of the
up.
shit you're saying.
I have never seen Hasan apologize for anything. I've never seen him apologize for anything or take anything back or say, you know what, that was too far.
Never. Honestly,
That's irresponsible.
I can't find a single time he's done that.
Because he never gets punished, so he just doubles down, triples down, quadruples down.
Same with all of his, and his orbiters who have something to prove are even worse. Like Mike literally said, Ethan will never learn till he's bleeding from his mouth.
Yeah.
And there was no punishment for that. And then a week later, 2 random Jewish passerbyers outside the Jewish Museum are murdered in cold blood. And his reaction is, it's a psyop.
I can't believe people are calling it that. I see false flag too.
Hasan suggested it too. I've got it all here. By the way, some ordinary gamer, Mudahar, said, I found that statement dumb. What you were saying was similar to if a Muslim had said they feel unsafe after the Christchurch shooting. Who the fuck would tell them, stop trying to be a victim?
Uh-huh. Well, you know what? Sometimes...
Thank you, Mudahar, for the comment.
Thank you. Sometimes
Thank you, Mudahar.
Older Jewish Israeli people, they'll say Jews are not allowed to cry, which that's what this is about. They don't... You're not allowed to say your problems, talk about your problems.
Well,
people don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I see this.
It's where this statement comes from.
There's this Goebbels Nazi propaganda line that I start to see all the time. That's like the Jew hits you and cries out in pain. Like that's,
So it's like when you're talking about
that's Nazi
shit.
shit.
What a way to make it about yourself. Or like they're always
That's Nazi shit.
Yeah.
He's doing that. He's doing that. The Jew hits you and cries out.
Jews are not allowed to cry. That's what that statement is.
Blatant, violent anti-Semitism that is oozing off these people. If you can't see it, then we're basically just going, where are we going?
It feels like where it was during the war and the Holocaust. It's reminiscent of that time.
It's crazy to see.
Well, because
you can see how it happened. I've always said, like, I have no idea how the Holocaust could happen. It just makes no sense. And now I see it. I see how it happened.
It's not that there's like so much wanton violence against Jews happening, although there is an insane rise in hate crime against Jews in America and around the world. It's the consent, it's the ease, it's the comfortability that people have with violence against us. Dehumanizing language, being platformed mainstream,
and seeing
being
it
platformed by New York Times,
exactly.
by the CEO of Twitch saying this is his favorite creator.
Yeah, seeing it on all levels.
The people are comfortable with the idea, and as people get more comfortable, guess what's going to happen? Watch this. By the way, Hasan just erased his entire Discord.
Yeah, I saw people say that that's something they do kind of regularly.
He's done it a few times, but now is a pretty funny time.
Why.
He let's see. He tells his chat who.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, he tells his chat, by the way, who when he's reading the shooter's manifesto, he put his chat in emoji only mode. And even then, by the way, they were able to express support for the shooter. And by the way, Hasan managed to do more to support this shooter's dignity than me.
Mm-hmm.
It was only after I confronted him that he put it in a chat emoji mode.
Chatter, are you crazy? Chatter goes, yo, use this as your blast off meme. No, I'm not gonna do that, okay? Missed therapy appointment, so now I have to pay extra, and we're here. What is this? You about to be arrested? For what? Having a fucking fat cock? Don't think that's illegal. You about... True. All right. Osama bin ballin' blast off. Can you get through the news before 3 p.m. when I see the new Mission Impossible streamer, man? No. Should I use Tyrese Halliban? Should I do that? I don't... No, dude, I can't... Yeah, I'm not gonna use this, dude. Y'all are so stupid. Give me... Okay, guys, this is not like... This is not a time to be fucking... it's not a time for you to say fun, wild, edgy things, okay? There are probably 1,000 people in the chat currently documenting every single thing that you guys are saying in an effort to basically tie it back to me. And
notice it's not don't do this because it's
not
wrong.
because it's wrong.
It's don't do it so that we don't look bad.
So we don't
so
get
we
caught.
don't look like we are.
So
You don't see who we actually are.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, the Discord's not public facing, although I think anyone can join it. But there's a reason they erased that. They just nuked the whole fucking thing.
This community and rob it of its context or anything like that.
Oh yeah, the context, sure.
And to try to get me fucking deplatformed. Like lock in. Stop fed
Lock in.
posting.
Stop
it's not
fed
time for
posting.
memes.
Fed posting.
Just because you're anonymous doesn't mean you will stay anonymous. All this stuff, okay?
Hold the terrorist sympathies until after the show is over. Thank you.
We got a lot of eyes on us, so...
Literally mob shit. Hey guys, keep it. Don't spend the money for a couple years.
Yeah.
They're gonna track the cash.
I didn't even know what Fed posting until I saw this stuff, and then people explained that it's like kind of like you're incriminating everybody.
Our guest is here. I have more clips to show. Is he? I can just talk to him and then we'll finish when we're done with him. But yeah, I have a really interesting guest. Let's bring him on. His name is once again Ahmed Fouad Alkhatib. And I'll have him tell you about his background. Mm-hmm. But he's a peace activist, a Palestinian peace activist, someone who I've been following for a while with great admiration, because he, kind of like me, all this guy does. There he is. I'll let him speak for himself. Hello, Ahmed. How are you? Thanks for calling.
Yes, of course. Thanks for having me on.
Hello.
I'm very grateful for the perspective that you've brought to this from the very beginning, because I think I'm like you. I'm someone who's in favor of peace, who's in favor of Palestinian liberation, who hates Hamas, right? But also doesn't think that it's a good idea to erase it. The genocidal language that they deploy, that the co-signing the violence that you're seeing now, and it's like. Anyone who's isn't black and white just gets absolutely, annihilated in the court of public opinion these days. Has that been your experience?
Absolutely, man. As someone from Gaza, someone who's lost family members, someone who has actual war injuries from having grown up in the Gaza Strip, the fact that I'm able to, and people talk about nuance, but no one actually walks the talk. No one actually understands what nuance means. No one wants to hold multiple truths. No one wants to talk about the fact that you can be pro the Palestinian people's just and urgent aspirations, while also rejecting an Islamist death cult that has been a complete disaster for the Palestinian people, far more than it has been a deadly menace for the Israelis. Yes, of course, it has been sympathy for Israelis in the 1990s during the Oslo process, in the 2000s with the Second Intifada, certainly with the rockets when they took over, and then October 7th. But I would argue that Hamas has been a far more menacing threat to the very existence and welfare of the Palestinian people. And trying to hold those multiple truths immediately erases my heritage, my pride of my Palestinian background. I'm a spy, I'm a Zionist, I'm a traitor, I'm a sellout, I'm a bootlicker, I'm all of those things. And I've appreciated the fact that you, among other allies across both the Jewish community and non-Jewish community, have really been seeking to bolster those of us who are trying our best to be pragmatic, be moderates, be reasonable, be about our people's rights without promoting terrorism, which is very sexy nowadays among some in the circles, which is despicable.
One thing that after October 7th that really shook me, was completely unexpected, was the outward support for Hamas, like immediately after. Because like I always had this understanding, like, oh, everybody knows they're like evil and they're bad guys and they're terrorists, right? But then after October 7th, I had my co-host Hasan Piker. I came on here to be like, dude, isn't this crazy? And he's unable to say a bad thing about them. The audience is it seems to be in full support of Hamas, and I didn't even consider that a possibility. I was like, a completely reality shattering for me when I saw that, and it's continued since then. It's really something,
Well, you just hit on basically why I decided to put myself forth. I worked for an international philanthropic organization and research organization focused on Africa before October 7th for the last 8 years. And I've maintained my contact with Gaza ever since I came here, and we can get into elements of my story later. But while I've been on and off involved with what you would call the mainstream pro-Palestine movement, I had stepped away. But I was shocked myself that in the past, at least, there was the pretense, and I'll be honest with you, like, there was the pretense, a goodwill effort, or at least a recognition of saying, well, I'm not down with Hamas, but the blockade. Well, I'm not down with Hamas, but Israeli policies. Well, no, I'm with the Palestinian people. I don't support Hamas and there were tiers of that, right? Mm-hmm. And then on October 7th, I would say something flipped, something really shifted. But I want to share, though, before October 7th, going way back, there were elements of supporters for Hamas throughout the movement, but it was generally understood.
They had to keep it low key.
Precisely, keep it low key, and they were genuinely I believed the smaller elements. So, for example, in the first war, I was, I'm 35 right now. I was 18 in 2008, 2009. I remember, and I was always, very good in like public talking, and I was always making, a compelling case for why what's happening in Gaza is unjust, etc. I remember vividly in San Francisco, a reporter asking me, well, what do you think about these rockets that Hamas is shooting? They're indiscriminate, they're terrible. And I remember answering the reporter, of course I'm against Hamas's rockets, and I'm against random acts of violence. And that's not what the Palestinian people want, because Gazans don't want Hamas. And even back then, they didn't want these unmasked dudes. They just show up next to your house. They put up this launching pad, silly launching pad. They shoot off the missile, and then Israeli aircraft come and just like destroy the whole area. And so that was like when I was growing up, man. But when I was growing up in Gaza, it wasn't the rockets. They used to have mortars in there, and people hated when Hamas or Islamic Jihad.
Yeah, it's gotta be terrifying when they set that up next to your house or wherever you live.
Exactly. So like it was a universally loathed thing, and people were like, so what? Like, what are you going to do? And then meanwhile, Israeli surveillance drones are overhead, the Apaches, the F-16s. So like, through my lived experience, through my contact with people in Gaza, through the understanding that since Hamas took over in 2007, they accelerated the use of civilian areas for this action. So I was able, even as an 18-year-old, to say, well, yeah, of course I'm against these rockets. And the way Israel's conducting
response, right?
And that and yada yada. I was immediately pulled to the side. I'll never forget this, by one of the organizers of the someone who was at the time working through the Answer Coalition. The Answer Coalition have been around forever, and they were like, Ahmed, that was terrible. Don't ever do that again. You always pivot away from talking about Hamas and the rockets. You always make it about Israel. I was like, okay, wait, but I did talk about Israel, but I legitimately expressed a sentiment that I know people in Gaza and in Gaza, like, I talk to my friends, no, it doesn't matter. You always stay on point. Keep the focus on Israel. Hamas is irrelevant in this whole. I was like, wait, but literally the conflict is happening because Hamas started all these things. Like, come on, guys. Like, so that was the first crack for me. I was like, really? We're going to engage in dishonesty just to be, but I didn't think much of it at the time. And I was like, okay, whatever, that's one person. And I continued to seek to do this pragmatic approach of saying, look, Hamas is like bad, like Hamas is terrible. And I would get some funny looks, but for the most part, people didn't really give me a hard time or push back. But what I would say is that since October 7th, there's been a complete shift, man.
Right.
And I have a couple of theories to that. I think one of them is that, it's been like, almost 10 years from October 7th since the last major war. And like, that's enough time for enough of the younger generations of Arab Americans, Palestinian Americans, the pro-Palestine, the Muslim Americans, the pro-Palestine movement writ large. So you have a new kind of wave of younger generations. But the other theory is that I actually think because of the success, and I'm putting that in quotes, success, it was horrible, it was a disaster, but the initial success of the attack of October 7th, I genuinely think that some people were like, oh, well, maybe armed resistance isn't so bad. Maybe it can work against a much more powerful adversary like Israel. Little did they know that, like, within 8 hours, like, the Israelis were starting to push back, and then the bombardment began. So, like, it was a complete failure. And then number 3, and this is where I get in the most trouble, because people start thinking that I'm somehow this, like, far right crazy. Like, I'm not far right. I'm not far left. Like, I'm a middle of the road. And me personally, I'll be honest with you, I'm a Democrat. I'm a registered Democrat. So, but nevertheless, I actually think the pro-Palestine community and movement neatly plugged into a lot of the insanity of some of the extreme woke left. And I'm not saying woke left. I'm not saying that I'm coming from necessarily a MAGA perspective. I'm just saying that the broader environment, the 10 years since, the 2014 big war in Gaza versus 2023, almost 10 years later, things in the Western world, and particularly in the United States, are different, such that, we don't have critical race theory in Palestine. We have now critical Palestine theory. And that is, the Palestinians have no agency. There's no accountability. What they did on October 7th was an inevitability. And that's why I call that the inevitability fraud. That October 7th was an inevitability when it wasn't. And so that's where I was really surprised that on day 2 or 3, there were these mass protests.
Right.
effectively celebrating it, and at the same time calling it a genocide.
Right. Yeah. And so, what strikes me is the difference between what appears to be the difference between what the people in Gaza actually want and advocate for, and then what Western leftists are being like, actually, no, you guys need to fight till you're all dead. Like, it strikes me as so deeply ironic. And like you said, there's a bigotry of low expectations where it's like, of course, these people are going to act like barbarians. Of course, they're going to want to be violent. Of course, they're going to be like this. It's like, no, that doesn't, it's like, how little do you think of them that you think that they have to act out in this way? Like, it's one thing to say, I understand why they're doing it. I understand the mentality of how they got there and how they got radicalized, but this presumption that, like, of course it's in, like you were saying, the inevitability of fraud, it's that of being like, of course they're going to have to like go slaughter a bunch of civilians. What do you expect? And it's like that can't be true.
Precisely that, brother. And I mean, I was on a YouTube show with a famous, European, let's not mention names, I don't like to mention names, but I was a famous economist, and he's like, he knows best because those Europeans, they're going to tell me as a Gazan what time it is. And he was like, well, of course the Palestinians in Gaza are going to act, his words verbatim, this is a quote, of course the Gazans are going to act like animals.
Yeah, he said that.
Yes, on live YouTube show. Of course they're going to act like animals on October 7th and like total barbarians. Because Israel made them into animals and barbarians. Israel made them into animals. I was like, okay, we need a little bit of a timeout, sir. First of all, that is incredibly racist. And then he got all worked up. Like, no, I'm not racist. The Israelis are the worst creatures and And I was like, whoa. Excuse me, sir. First of all, the decision to launch October 7th was a decision. It was a choice. It was not an inevitability. It didn't have to happen. All of these Western, experts in academia make it seem like Gaza was starving, that Gazans were like a North Korea style famine in 94, crawling on the floor looking for crumbs of food, when in fact, this was a decision by Sinwar and Dave, two psychopaths underground, who not only didn't consult the rest of Gaza, they didn't even consult the rest of Hamas and the rest of Iran and the axis of resistance, Iran and Hezbollah, who had nebulous ideas about this happening, but basically he went into like total operational security mode and decided to do this on his own. My point is that this was a very narrow, specific operation against Saudi and Israeli normalization. This was a military coup within Hamas. Hamas's popularity was down in the toilet in Gaza before October 7th. So this was an attempt to rejuvenate the armed resistance narrative and fraud, on behalf of which Hamas siphoned so many resources of the Palestinian people's resources. And again, I say this because my goal is, like, I'm not self-hating, I'm not self-flagellating. Like, I love my people, I'm proud of the people of Gaza. I think the people of Gaza, many of them have incredible potential, incredible talent. Many people in Gaza, they ran successful businesses. There were beaches, there were hotels, Gaza had its first shopping malls during the blockade, okay? And by the way, yes, of course, Gaza also had some of the most polluted water and issues with that were the result of the blockade. But the blockade, people understand the blockade. The blockade was not this stagnant regime. It was a system that evolved since 2006, and it went through multiple phases and stages. There were at times when it was as harsh and horrendous and inhumane as calculating the number of calories by the IDF that the people of Gaza needed to survive. Like at one point, John Kerry went into Gaza and he looked at the list of prohibited items, and it was like pasta and like Crayolas and stuff. And after that after a reassessment, especially after the 2014 war, there was a fundamental reassessment of the blockade regime where there was an effort by Kogat and by elements within the Israeli apparatus to try to let Gaza flourish from a business point of view, to try to, and then later on they let the Qataris come in, and that's a whole other beast that we'll tackle in a little bit, with Netanyahu then using that as a way to keep the Palestinians divided and as political leverage. And that's where I think there needs to be accountability on the Israeli side for this 3D chess that backfired horribly. But the point is that I actually would argue up to October 7th, the blockade was at arguably its lowest point, whereby there were 20,000 people that were working in Israel, and that number was about to go to 50,000. My mom, I was regularly talking to her. My mom, when I came to the United States, I came here when I was 15, and none of my immediate or extended family came with me. I came by myself, and I was never able to go back in 2006 when Hamas abducted an Israeli soldier. And so I always had this like physical connection to the land through my dad ran an UNRWA, the UN refugee clinic agency rather, that ended up becoming controversial during this war. He ran their clinic in Jabalia in northern Gaza. My brother ran their beach clinic. My oldest brother is in Gaza right now. He is the field director, one of the biggest medical NGOs there.
Sorry, the dog. we have a room full of dogs that just got spooked by something. Go on. Sorry, apologies.
Oh, no worries. My point is, October, like within the imbalance, this is what many commentators don't get. Within the imbalance of power dynamics, there's asymmetry of power between Palestinians and Israelis, with one side, the Israelis, clearly having overwhelming advantage. There is still, nevertheless, space within said imbalance for Palestinian agency and accountability and responsibility to optimize for better decision-making, to optimize for better circumstances, so that you don't hand our people on a silver platter to the most far-right government in Israel's history, committing the worst single-day attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust, on a government that has Smotrich, Ben Gvir, and Netanyahu. And so that's where I speak with passion, and that to me is what's missing from the discourse. It's easy to go on endlessly attacking Israel to the moon and back. And you know what? If that suits you, that's for some people, that's their prerogative, though I feel like that's become kind of a trendy thing to do. But if you actually genuinely want to help the Palestinian people, if you want to learn from our past mistakes, if you want our people to learn from the repeated failures of 77 years since 1948, then it's time to look inward. And again, that's not, blaming the victim. I actually think that's the first step to empowering the Palestinian people, instead of all of these academics rushing to say, oh, y'all have no agency, no accountability, y'all are angels, whatever you do, you can't be blamed because it's all Israel's fault.
There's seems to be a growing movement of people protesting Hamas at seemingly a great risk to their own personal safety. I know I read some of the protesters were executed and left like at his parents' house or something like that outside. But there seems to be a growing protest, and simultaneously there seems to be people like Hasan Piker and people like him who are simultaneously kind of discrediting them or trying to change their motives. He'll say like it's not that serious, or they're there to protest Israel primarily. They don't actually hate Hamas, or they're there because of whatever. He thinks it's not a big deal. There's not a lot of people there. They're actually there to protest Israel primarily, and this is just propaganda. Again, it's like these leftist liberals, or I mean these Western leftists, I feel like they're clearly not helping. And I don't understand. I just don't understand, you know? And like the way that they're now defending this shooter in DC, or not maybe defending, but excusing. A lot of people are defending. A lot of people are excusing.
Oh, a lot of people are outright defending him.
Yeah. And so it's like, and then I see Netanyahu giving these insane fucking speeches, or other government officials of Israel. And I'm like, I hate these people. And now these people are saying like the most heinous, insane shit that I never want to hear them saying. And it's like, it's making everything worse. It's giving these people a platform in Israel who are the worst. And it's giving just more justification for these so-called activists online who are cheering on more violence. It's just, I don't understand the point. And it just doesn't seem complicated to me I don't know. I'm black-pilled on it.
Yeah. So I wanna say something just for the record. Like, I don't know Mr. Piker. I know of him through you explicitly. I am disappointed recently by the fact that he hosted a gentleman by the name of the Bad Empanada.
Oh, you know about him?
The Bad Empanada has incited so heavily against me. Some of the worst death threats that I have received against my life came from people directly affiliated.
Do you know how often I hear that?
Yeah.
And he did a whole hit piece on me. And for some reason, he just dedicated so much of his energy to me. And I was like, dude, just let it go. Let it be. There was a hit piece on me by basically a leftist rag that's like a Russian, Iranian, North Korean propaganda outlet that claimed Israel is paying me $30 million to promote genocide. And of course, you know, Mr. Empanada and he called me the final boss of respectability politics. And you know, again, and I'm speaking about this not in a personalized sense. I've had way worse guys than Mr. Empanada come out. I've had Al-Qaeda guys straight up, and it's all here threatened to, which is weird because I'm single, I don't have kids, threatened to behead, to rape my children, behead my wife, and then rape me and behead me. And these are like people like Al-Qaeda, they're like big Al-Qaeda guys coming after me to the point where I've had to acquire the means to defend myself. Wow. So this is not a pity party. I'm simply saying that, you know, having Mr. Hasan and the Bad Empanada, two non-Palestinians, sitting up there pontificating about, you know, what is good for the Palestinians and genocide this and genocide that and resistance, how pompous can one get is that. But Mr. Piker, if he has any interest in actually engaging in this and actually like engaging in a goodwill conversation,
I would love that. I would love to see him talk to you. I don't think he will because it's too disruptive, but it's too disruptive to his message.
To the narrative.
Yeah.
I have personally I've come this close to disavowing the entirety, and this is something that as a radical pragmatist, you know, because I launched Realign for Palestine, which is about radical pragmatism, a rejection of violence, multiple truths, different layers of engagement, dialogue, conversations, not as kumbaya, but actually as a pragmatic, meaningful way of establishing common ground. And I've come but despite the aforementioned, I've come this close to disavowing the entirety of the pro-Palestine movement as basically being a complete fraud. And I know people in it who are following me, who are trying their best, and know there are good people in the movement. This is just the only thing that's out there, and I'm trying really hard to be compassionate. And what really, like, the two things that have just made it so exceptionally difficult, never mind the attacks on me, calling me a Zionist, the constant threats. They go and harass me on college campuses when I speak and interrupt me and scream "Free Palestine" at me. Imagine screaming "Free Palestine" at a Palestinian from Gaza who literally runs a program called Realign for Palestine, who has family that was killed in Gaza, who is literally deaf in his left ear because of a bombing by the IDF. Like imagine just the stupidity of yelling
The
back.
arrogance.
And the arrogance.
It's just,
I mean,
yeah.
So sorry, I'm just,
No, I got, trust me, I totally
it's not
get
coming
it.
up. It's not. What happened since the anti-Hamas? What happened with the pro-Palestine movement since the anti-Hamas protests in Gaza has exposed it all, has laid it bare for everybody to see. All the journalists, all the social media influencers, all the outlets, the independent outlets out there. This was disruptive to the narrative. This turned things upside down. Nobody touched it. A mere handful of people wanted to touch it. I was supporting these folks in Gaza. I was helping them out. I was sending some of them money. I was giving them messaging advice. They asked me, what do we do? They asked me, mobilize support. You're in Washington. Go talk to policymakers. I went to Capitol Hill. I talked to folks. I was trying desperately to get the mainstream media attention. These guys are not only the true freedom fighters, but they also actually proved wrong the insane Hasbara pro-Israel people that said everybody in Gaza is a terrorist. Everybody in Gaza loves Hamas. Everybody in Gaza. By the way, these people have always been there. They just, as Hamas has been weakened and as Hamas has become just that much more fascistic, they've decided to come forth. And so to see the ladder of escalation, it started with total radio silence about the anti-Hamas protesters. And it was so funny to see the indirect union. Ethan, listen to this very carefully, my brother. The indirect union between the crazy pro-Palestine people and the insane and I'm putting pro-Palestine in quotes and pro-Israel in quotes, union between the pro-Palestine crazies and the pro-Israel crazies. The pro-Palestine crazies who love Hamas, who are anti-Semitic, who believe in the armed resistance fraud, and the pro-Israel people who believe that everybody in Gaza is Hamas, everybody's a terrorist. And so both parties had an interest in diminishing, overlooking, undermining, or ignoring the anti-Hamas protesters in Gaza. And so it is the height of irony, the mother of all ironies, that is the only common ground they have managed to establish throughout the entirety of this war, is they were united against the innocent civilian people of Gaza who risked their lives. Some of them are my friends. Very sick. Yeah. Very, very sick. But then focusing back on the pro-Palestine movement, then they took it a step further recently. And then we saw an actual overt attack against the actual true freedom fighters of Gaza. Not the rapists and the murderers and the beheaders and the people who burn people alive and the attackers and the child kidnappers and the murderers and the evil Hamas guys. No. Those are not freedom fighters. Those are a bunch of guys with salaries. Those guys all have salaries. Being a Hamas terrorist is an actual salary, okay? So, no, the real freedom fighters who were literally protesting a terrorist ISIS-like fascistic organization while Israeli bombs were falling all around them, who were not getting paid for any of this, who were entirely organic, who, by the way, I've always believed, I've never once fomented those sentiments. They had to organically come from Gaza. And like I said, they've always been there. Some of the pro-Israel people were like, well, these people are only protesting now because of the consequences of the war. Total BS, total hogwash. These people, there's always been, societal, political, ideological, and religious opposition to Hamas in Gaza. It's just that now the group's behavior has just pushed people to the breaking point. So that's where
how do we support people in Gaza who are, as you say, the real freedom fighters?
Well, we actually amplify the heck out of their actions and activities. We expose those who are opposing them, and literally, Ethan, just the reason why I was emphasizing the ironic unity, like shame the pro-Palestine people by telling them that you are in an indirect, because a lot of the pro-Israel people that follow me, because they love my anti-Hamas message, but they really are only interested in that, they're like, no, we don't believe them. These people are not insincere. This is Takia. They only want to stop the bombing. They don't love the Jews. They don't. And I'm like, you guys are so stupid. There's a reason why a bunch of misbehaving, college students on undergrads have been able to beat Hasbara and the pro-Israel advocacy movement, because there is just such a blob of messaging when it's not a dynamic messaging. It doesn't humanize the Palestinian people. It doesn't acknowledge that the Palestinian people are diverse and not monolithic. Again, this is actually another point of convergence between the crazy pro-Israel and crazy pro-Palestine people, is that there is an unwillingness to acknowledge that Gaza society, Palestinians in Gaza, they're not monolithic in how they see Hamas. And in fact, there's, as you opened so brilliantly at the beginning, I love how you open, there's totally a disconnect. And that's my raison d'etre. That's why I'm out there. That's why I deal with the threats, and I deal with the empanadas, and I deal with the Dalai Lamas, and I deal with the fools, and I deal with the attacks and whatever, because the people of Gaza are what sustains me. The people of Gaza are what give me hope. The people of Gaza are the actual folks who genuinely and sincerely make it worthwhile for me. And actually, I wanted to show you, I wanted to send you this tweet, and I hope you're able to.
Yeah, we can. Just send it to
put it.
Send it in the chat, and we can open it.
So I'm gonna send you just two particular two. This one here, I'm gonna send it in the chat. This one is from a lady who is in Gaza, and then this one. So let's start with Noor, and you can do, if you can, I don't know if you can show it on the show, but you can. The first one is in Arabic, and you can just do the Google Translate.
I'm pulling this up here, and you should probably be able to see it.
Post.
So it's in Arabic. You guys can see by someone named Noor, and I'm going to translate it.
There you go.
Unable to fetch. Oh. Why is it doing that? Well, I can just put it into Google Translate too.
Yes, put it in Google Translate.
Yeah, let me do that.
And yeah, that's weird, because on Twitter itself, for me, it translated right.
Oh, here I got. Yeah, okay. Thank you. So here's the translation. Would you like me to read it?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So she says, I don't know if you received this information or not. We in Gaza hate anything called resistance and any resistance fighter. After this war, we guarantee you that there will be no form of resistance, even resistance songs. We will ban them. The peace that will be in Gaza will shock you, and we will produce generations that hate the marksmen and will step on the graves of Sinwar and the Daif.
Wow. Daif.
Wow.
Yes. So that is a sentiment that is so ubiquitous, that is so widespread. But since we're in the show, let's show the other tweet, please. So Issa Amru is a super famous anti-occupation, anti-settlement guy in the West Bank. And at a time when all of these pro-Palestine people in the West are celebrating the murder, saying kill them all. You know, the Yaron and everybody who's related to Israel. Read what this guy, who's literally daily being attacked by soldiers and by settlers. Read what he said.
He said, the murder of any human being should not be justified nor celebrated by anyone.
And this guy is literally, if you go to his profile, just really quickly, you can do it on your own leisure, you can do it now or whatever. It is full of, he's an internationally recognized activist. And every day he gets terrorized by settlers who want to take over his house. And every day he gets attacked by them. The hilltop youth and the little ones and the big ones, and they're protected by the soldiers. And a few times the soldiers will come and push them away. Sometimes they'll beat him up. The soldiers will beat them up. The settlers. This guy has suffered so horrendously. And yet somehow, some way, he's able to be in the fulcrum of the military occupation of the Palestine and the dehumanization. And I think the complete awful reality that some Palestinians in the West Bank face, and to say, guys, like, geez, like, what is wrong with you? Like, all of these, like, Western-based people saying, like, get him, kill those Zionist, you know, representatives of the state, whatever. So that's...
Yeah, there's a video pinned on his profile. Today, February 13th, I was detained and beaten violently by an Israeli soldier in Hebron. I was showing the famous American writer Lawrence Wright the Israeli occupation and apartheid in my hometown. This video is very disturbing. I don't know if you've seen it. But,
and that's literally all of his like wall.
So this guy manages still to be a true peace activist despite you know, facing violence on a daily basis.
But also to like, when did we lose the ability to say random acts of violence are not okay? Random killings are not okay.
They need asterisks. Everything needs an asterisk, right?
Unless they're Zionists and unless they work for the Zionist regime and unless they're like, but that's what I'm saying is like, this is such a scary because I genuinely like, because I'm like, imagine a situation where this becomes the actual norm, where political violence in the United States or in Europe or in the Western world, and this is why it is difficult for me and to like Realign for Palestine and my website, my organization, to draw out the Palestinian pragmatists and moderates. A lot of them, they have families. A lot of them have businesses. Some of them started writing things and then they start getting threats on like social media and they're like, oh, Ahmed, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Like I have my wife, I have the, like, and again, like not everybody can acquire the means and the necessary tools to protect themselves, which I'm very, very well adept at using, and I'm not going to be afraid, and I'm not going to, you know, curl up in a corner and be like, oh, mommy, I'm afraid. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm right here. I put my name, I put my face, I'm out there. You know, I take precautions. I'm not cocky. But, like, like, what happened to these embassy staff is the same kind of political violence that the Hamasniks and the terrorists and the Muslim Brotherhood people, they want to normalize against people like myself for challenging Hamas's narratives. And the people who send you, you know, skulls, human skulls, and that kind of garbage. Like this is the slippery slope that we're headed down. And this is like it takes someone from the West Bank facing horror to say, hey guys, like, can we please, you know, stop and not normalize it?
Yeah, I would love to see someone like Hasan talk to someone like that, but I just don't think that, you know, again, it's not what's going to drive Twitch primes to him.
Well, so my question to you then is, I mean, what do you think? Like like I'm curious what you because I don't consider myself or call myself an influencer. I'm a writer, analyst, commentator. I'm an advocate. I'm not, there's like there's activism, there's advocacy, and then there's policy. And advocacy is somewhere in between policy and activism, where you have to interface with both communities. But like, do you think over the years, I mean, like, why is it that a streaming but for the record, I'm not just speaking about your former colleague. I'm speaking generally. Why is it that we're in a place right now where a bunch of online streamers and podcasters and whatever, with no real understanding or link to the land or to the issue, are going to develop opinions that we're supposed to care about and are going to tell everybody this is what time it is, and then are going to start attacking people like you for retweeting me and saying you're promoting genocide for retweeting Gaza? Like, how did we get here?
I think there's...
And the two of us lived in Israel, and they still dare to tell Ethan, for example, that he doesn't know what he's talking about, even though he lived there for 5 years.
Talking about my empirical...
I'm from there. And
I think...
Illa, by the way, you're not visible. I wish I would see you. Because
it's just it's like I think Dan can switch. Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
When she talks, then we'll switch to her.
Yes. Let's switch to her because I don't want you to be in. Hi, nice to see you.
It's nice to see you. It's been so amazing to listen to you so far. It's something that I've been craving to hear for so long from anybody, and it's just like it went straight into my heart. Everything you said.
Well, and I want to just acknowledge that you're also like, you're from Israel. You have family there. Like, you're like, you have a right to speak about this. Like, this impacts you, and this impacts your family, your folks, and where you're from. But it's like, why is it that I'm supposed to care what a bunch of streamers and podcasters?
So I think there's like a whole vortex of bad things happening. One, people are super disillusioned with like the media, so that nobody wants to get their news from the media. That's where suckers get their news. Also, like, we're at a point in American society when capitalism is really not at its finest hour. There's huge disparities, and a lot of people feel helpless, right? And they feel they don't see positive outcomes coming and the status quo. And I think a lot of people, leftist ideology, socialism, communism, Marxism, whatever, is becoming popular. And in this doctrine, in this worldview, it's very much oppressor, oppressee. I mean, I know that's almost become like a talking point, but it's genuinely just the truth. Is that they see the worldview doesn't allow them to see complications. They'll look you in the face and say, what's happening in Israel is not complicated. Israel's the bad guy. Hamas is the good guys. And like, they're incapable of doing that because in their worldview, there's the colonizer and there's the colonized. And and it's up to the colonizers, the colonized to kill, take over, resist the colonizers. And there's just a really, I think that the amount of these people I hope to God that it's somewhat exaggerated because of how we perceive them. I mean, Twitter and TikTok and online, you see Hasan, who's become like, was the #1 political streamer until recently. But there's just a whole vortex of terrible conditions that's kind of, making people, scrambling people's brains, It's just, and I mean, obviously there's a lot of like introspection to go on there. I mean, like our government, our capital. I am a social democrat. I believe capitalism is a good system. But the way it's working right now is dysfunctional, and it's not working. And so the people are feeling hopeless. And I think that's when you get these kinds of radical ideologies and these people who are just, so disillusioned that they're willing to kill.
I love that people are disillusioned as they're fucking paying $100,000 a year.
Well, that's the ironic part, right?
They go to Columbia and Harvard.
The true irony,
as they're making millions from streaming.
Yeah. Well, that's the irony, right? And I feel like this is kind of common within communist revolutions too. Is that it's the bourgeoisie who, LARP as the proletariat and lead them, tells them how to feel and what they need to do, and they become the thought leaders to the proletariat. And it's like it's almost like a sick joke. It's true. You see the people on the campus of Columbia, like you said, who are paying $100,000 a year because they come from like a multi-million-dollar family led. Yeah, exactly. And they're the ones that are the most convicted about it. Yeah. I think there's also something else. I think there's a lot of generational guilt with what happened in Iraq and how America's conducted itself since 9/11. And I think there's a huge overreaction to that. Or overreaction, who can say, right? But I think there is a large influence on young people's minds who grew up learning like this was a terrible thing that we did. Millions of civilians died. It was all a lie. And it's become like American unexceptionalism. It used to be American exceptionalism. Now it's everything in America is bad. It can't be salvaged. It's the worst. It's whatever it is. If it's American, it's the worst. It's unsalvageable, and we hate it. And these are people who are coming up from affluent families, and I think it's them feeling generational guilt for what America has done since 9/11. And like, again, that's an understandable feeling and perspective. But I think it's dangerous when a bunch of young people who have no life experience and no frankly actual perspective get so convicted by things that it draws them to radical behavior. And I think that's just what's happening, unfortunately.
Well, and to tie it all together, like, just to clarify, because I'm sure some are going to look at this conversation we're having and they're going to be like, well, you haven't said anything about the horror in Gaza and whatever. Like, of course we're horrified by what's taking place in Gaza. Of course we don't want the children starving. And, like, of course I care deeply about saving what remains of my family members. I lost the 2 childhood homes I grew up in. Our family lost everything, just like the rest of Gaza mostly has lost everything. The point is, number one, how can you be a good advocate and a good custodian of this cause in the Western diaspora, in the world, so that you're not making it radioactive and toxic and pushing people away? And I would say this to kids, and they're like, especially in Columbia, Students for Justice in Palestine, and they were like, well, first they blocked me. Second of all, they're like, we are not in the business of making our cause palatable to Zionists.
Yeah, I hear that.
Like they don't want to make it palatable. And I'm like, okay, so you're just going to make it tolerable then only to a bunch of lunatics in your field? Like who are you going to appeal to?
Exactly. What is the end goal?
It's way worse than that, because all they do is empower people like fascist elements, conservative fascist right-wing elements that hate brown people, that hate immigrants, that fucking do whatever the fuck they want. And it's like, it's just so self-defeating. And
it is like you said, it's just pushing people away. Like, Ethan and I are totally on board. Like, we want to figure it out. We want free Palestine. We want all those things. And they're pushing us away like we are the devil. Like, you should see how they talk about us.
Oh, I'm sure he gets it just as bad.
And you get it too.
I have no doubt.
So what is the end goal? What are they actually working towards? I don't understand.
I mean, it's like...
Yeah, I don't know.
But the other thing, too, it's like, it's like, this is what I said, remember? There's activism, there's advocacy, and then there's policy. A lot of times, policy makers are so far removed from the messaging of advocates and the community and activists and advocates. Advocates, however, are uniquely positioned where you kind of graduate from being an advocate, an activist that just yells and screams and says things that feel good, to actually caring about being pragmatic, actually caring about achieving things, because you're an interlocutor between the policy guys up here and the activists. And I'm not saying activists are the bottom of the ladder. I'm talking about the ladder of the bottom of the power of the ladder from a societal point of view. I'm simply talking about the ladder of power and access, influence, and change. From my perspective, advocates are somewhere in the middle, and the state of advocacy right now for the Palestinian people. I mean, how about the fact that if you're Jewish or pro-Israel or self-identifying as Zionist, you have a spectrum of organizations and things to be a part of.
Yeah.
You have J Street, you have Israel Policy Forum, you have AIPAC, you have the ADL, you have AJC, you have the Jewish Community Centers, you have the Jewish Federations, you have the Zionist Organization of America and the World Zionist Congress, and you have the Jewish National Fund and Jaffe and all this infrastructure. If you're, Arab, Muslim, Palestinian, and you want to express sentiments of support for the Palestinian people and channel your energies and have that be harnessed in a constructive, meaningful way, basically at a national level, all you have is Students for Justice in Palestine, much of which I think has devolved to just be a complete disaster. Or you have CARE, which is Muslim Brotherhood adjacent. That's basically your two options, is Students for Justice in Palestine that supports armed resistance as an option, or CARE. Not very compelling. And then it devolves into this permanent, well, look at the Jews, and they have AIPAC, and they control the Congress, and they control the policies, and they control this and that. And it's like, wait, last time I checked, Palestinians and Arabs and Muslims in the United States, cumulatively, are some of the most, I would argue, successful minorities in the United States, professionally, academically, and otherwise. Why hasn't there been, over the decades, any meaningful attempt at building either one piece of infrastructure or multiple pieces of infrastructure through which you vector young people's energies, through which you
why
teach?
is that? Why do you think
why
that is?
is that?
I mean, I have multiple theories about that. I'm in DC. I speak to people. I try to fundraise. I try to do this. Honestly, I think some of it is just petty communal divisions. I think some of it is genuine ignorance of the fact that there's so many people who I talked to some folks in Silicon Valley or some folks in LA about trying to build up infrastructure here in DC to advocate for Palestinian rights in a sophisticated manner that can actually build infrastructure and harness some energies beyond the free Palestine, and without the stupid, let's cover up with a kafia and do revolution and intifada, to actually be sophisticated so that we have a greater chance of being heard and being influential. And one guy didn't know what think tanks were. The other guy was he just kept bringing it back to how the Jews control everything, and no matter what we do, the Jews will never. And these are this gentleman was a multi-millionaire. And he was interested, and he was telling me how he was disturbed by some of the messaging from college activists and campuses, and how harmful he thought. So then the other thing is there were a few attempts at being pragmatic. There was something called the American Task Force on Palestine. And they were ruthlessly mauled by the community as being sellouts, and Rashid Khalidi was very much so part of the effort to try to take them down, to try to undermine them, to try to push.
Who were they? What was it?
It was basically an effort to try to have dialogue and communication with the Jewish community, but also to engage the Bush administration, Condoleezza Rice, to work within the U.S. system, both the executive and the legislative, but especially the executive, again, in an elegant, sophisticated way that could also act as an arm of, like, for the Palestinian Authority and the Palestinian National Project in the United States, but to do so, again, and I hate to use the word overuse the word sophisticated. It is not I'm not saying it in an elitist sense per se. I'm simply saying sophisticated as in not the trash we're seeing on the streets at college
not
campuses.
The black and white.
Not the black and white, not the revolution intifada, we're gonna all in this cartoonish villain imagery that we see. No, our people are proud, show our faces. We're here, we're gonna be dressed up, we're gonna sit down with policymakers, and we're gonna talk about how we can work with the Jewish community.
Mm-hmm.
And this is even before, JVP was even a thing, Jewish Voice for Peace, and some of these leftist spaces. And but that was seen as a bridge too far for a lot of even for a lot of academics and a lot of even the business people in the Palestinian community. But that was it started falling apart in 2006 to 2008. But that's the problem with our community, is the emotionality. It's the lack of true vision, the lack of I've had people in other think tanks that talked about trying to get wealthy Arabs wealthy Palestinians to invest in DC fellowships for young Palestinian professionals to learn about how does Congress work, how does the executive branch work, to be involved, in Washington, be here, go to the State Department, and that does happen, but that's individual family members who encourage their kids. That's not a lot of communal push and effort to say we're going to do this as a community, as part of a sophisticated infrastructure that harnesses our resources, our know-how, and that, honestly, quite frankly, I think even if you were to do the aforementioned, then you're going to inevitably hit the messaging wall. What is the messaging wall? It's twofold. Can you work with Zionists? Can you accept working with Zionists and the mainstream Jewish organizations and Jewish community as allies, prospective allies, or even as a necessary evil, quote unquote? The second piece is, what are you advocating for? Two states, okay. How is a Palestinian state going to be framed in a way that's advantageous to U.S. interests? How is a Palestinian state not going to be a platform for Hamas's terrorism? How is a Palestinian state not going to be sabotaged by the Iranian meddling? Iran, every day, Palestinian security forces in the West Bank, they foil attempts by the Islamic Republic of Iran and to send money, to send guns, to and I have the receipts. I know the people who are involved in these efforts. It does happen on a daily basis. Numerous plots are foiled.
That's another thing that I never see anybody here talk about, is the involvement of Iran and the funding.
Oh, completely. I mean, there is never going to be a free, stable Palestine while the Ayatollah's regime is still standing.
Yeah, there's a malicious, invisible hand pushing, Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis to, conflict, right? And it's...
But are you going to talk about that, again, do we have a cohesive Palestinian body or several bodies that hits Palestinian American and Arab American and Muslim American bodies that aren't like, cut off all funding to Israel because we know in the near term that's not really a feasible, like, even if you disagree with it, you can withhold some particular aid packages or whatever, but overall, you need to be defined by what you stand for, not just what you're against.
Right.
Of course, we're against the Israeli military occupation, but is the occupation all of Israel, or is the occupation the 1967 borders? What are we going to do about, the settlements? Like, can we normalize the idea that Palestine will live side by side next to a safe and secure Israel? Like, make that a talking point in the Palestinian community, in the diaspora, and build power in DC and in the business community, and bring the totality of that to Washington. And I think you got yourself a very compelling piece of infrastructure. Instead, we're not only divided, but we're reliant on a bunch of academic spaces that are utterly useless. They are basically 5 steps above Hamas in terms of the radicalization of young people, both Arab Americans, Muslim Americans, and Palestinian Americans, but also non-Arabs, people that are allies in applying, critical race theory, critical Palestine theory, mapping out Israel and Palestine to abortion rights, women's rights, immigrant rights, Black Lives Matter, the capitalism, anti-capitalism, anti-civilization, anti-this, anti-that, anti-like Western civilization. My point is, the Palestinian issue has become a dumping ground for all sorts of causes, issues, activists. And our community is not really in charge of leading this issue. Our community, and then the few leaders that we have, like that Nardine Kiswani in New York within our lifetime. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't.
You probably better. But just look it up, Nardine Kiswani. But the few Palestinian prominent voices, Nardine Kiswani, Susan Abul Hawa, Muhammad El Kurd. We have some horrendous online social media influencers and activists in the diaspora who might as well just get Israeli passports and work for the Israeli Ministry of.
It's funny. We joke that Bad Empanada must work for the Mossad. Must be a Mossad plant because he does a lot of work to make the entire movement look worse. And so I think that's a good working theory right now.
I mean, I just, that's what I invite these guys, like, I just say, honestly, a bunch of them, they might as well, like, electronic intifada. Like, come on. Just please, Israel, please do us a favor and give them a passport.
Just bring them on board.
These people are the best Hasbara, voices. Israel spends, and the Jewish community spend massive sums trying to promote the Jewish perspective and voices and narrative. Why waste your time? Just when you have a bunch of dumbass.
That's kind of what my point was with the shooter too. He's doing so much for the worst people. But we're running out of time here, so I want to ask you to close it up. I want to ask one: what are steps that we, as people who want to do what we can to help, how do we kind of like resist, push back on like Netanyahu and the psychotic forces coming out of Israel? And then how do we? Are you have an organization? Are you part of a nonprofit? What do you do? Is there a place we can donate?
Yeah, so let me start with the first one real quick. I mean, this only works. Like, Ahmed is only, and pragmatic Palestinians are only successful if there are equivalent folks within Israel and within the Jewish community in the diaspora, especially Jewish Americans and Israeli Americans, because unfortunately, both of our communities, believe it or not, are gripped by similar dynamics, where the number of centrist, center-left, and center-right Israelis that I speak to on a regular basis, and they're like, Ahmed, what you're describing is exactly me when I try to say, look, guys, I hate Hamas, but like, Smotrich saying we're going to concentrate the population 4 days ago, and he said we're going to concentrate the population down south so that Trump's plan works and they're all kicked out, basically bragging about ethnic cleansing. Like, I tell my Israelis friends, like, and family, this is terrible. Like we can't, like, as Israelis and as Jews, like, we have values. Like, we're a democratic country. Like, we can't get behind this. This is like a moral decay from within. And they're like, oh, you're self-hating, like you're worse than Hamas, you're terrible. Or when they push back on the fact that Netanyahu has stalled and dragged this out, etc. So, like, I would argue that it is the height of being a being a Zionist or an Israeli patriot to call out. And you guys don't have the excuse, at least for us, we have the excuse of being under the boot of a terrorist organization, which is a legitimate excuse. You guys have democracy, okay? You guys have free expression that, yes, is sometimes being eroded by the police violence, but nevertheless, Israel's a free society. And so, and the discourse, the diversity of discourse within the Jewish community, my impression, having as an outsider, is part of the tradition, a long tradition, like 2 Jews, 100 opinion kind of jokes. So I strongly hope that there is a similar push by a multitude of pragmatic allies on the Jewish side to say, listen, we need to stop Hamas from seizing a lot of the aid and reselling it and making money off of it. But we can't do that if we're literally like stopping anything from going into Gaza for 2 months. People are clearly malnourished. We're seeing horrendous scenes. Israel's being turned into a pariah. Israel's being sanctioned by by France and UK and Canada and the Spanish Parliament just passed a thing like Trump is like upset and saying, wrap it up. Like, this is not going well for us, guys. Like, yes, we want to, like, something's got to give, So there are ways in which our allies can support us. Support the mutually beneficial realignment towards the center, towards pragmatism, towards moderation, as, again, not kumbaya, let's hold hands, everything's going to be fine, but as a realistic framework to bring down the temperature and to navigate what seems like a complete mess.
It seems like right now we just need to find a way to end the war, because everybody's just been pushed to the fringes, It's like...
we end the war, but we make sure... You don't end it in a way that Hamas is still in control, because that's going to be a disaster for the people of Gaza. That's for another podcast. I will gladly come back and talk about different theories and works. In fact, I had like a 4-hour discussion with someone today on a workshop. So as I work at the Atlantic Council, where I am a resident senior fellow, but also I run Realigned for Palestine through the Atlantic Council, and I have we have like our own standalone website, realignedforpalestine.org. There is a donate button, and so like you're certainly folks can donate there, but also I would encourage folks to consider the World Food Program has a Gaza Appeals page that is dedicated just for here, I'm going to give you the page that is dedicated for sending food just for Gaza. And they are incredibly capable.
Oh, that's great. That's the world.
Yes, I just dropped it.
So
World
send
Food
us both
Program.
links so we can put them in the description.
I sent this link. So this is the this is the fundraising arm of the World Food Program, but all money here donated this link goes to the World Food Program for Gaza specifically. And they're basically one of the biggest feeders of Gaza right now at scale. And then I'm going to send you, so you can donate there if you want to feed Gazans, and I'll send you the Realign for Palestine website that I would love if people can explore. And as you navigate that website, there is there's an option to.
Can you Lena, can you donate 1,000 to each one of those orgs for us? And then I hope that other people will join in supporting your cause, and it's great to know that there's that
the World Food Program.
That's it. Yeah, that's really a good recommendation. Yeah,
I know those people for sure. They are like they are getting food into Gaza right now.
That's great.
Those trucks that you hear about, that's all them.
Okay.
And that's what.
So there it is. I encourage everyone to support. We're going to send some money to both of those orgs. And
thank you.
Thank you for calling and sharing your perspective. It's really, really nice to talk and to see you. And I've been an admirer for a while. I've been kind of seeing you here and there, so it's nice to connect. And
I do see you liking and re-sharing things on Instagram, and I have long before this been following. I mean, some of your guys' videos have kept me going through COVID.
Oh wow, thank you. That's so nice. Okay.
Completely.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, thank you. Let's remain in touch, because I love getting your perspective on things, and I'm sure that there will be no lack of need for it. So
absolutely, man. Thank you, and thanks again for hearing me out, for the space, and for supporting the World Food Program and Realign for Palestine. Really
there it
appreciate
is.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. We'll talk soon.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
Have a great evening and a good weekend there. I appreciate it. There it is. That'd be Ahmed Fouad Alkhatib. And we're recommending the World Food Kitchen, which is really, I love knowing like what's the best way to get the aid in there for the people. So that's a good recommendation, and also supporting his org. And that is that's it. I mean, we've been going for a while. That was nice.
Very nice.
He really, I feel like people like that risk a lot. You know, and like he's talking about getting threats from like Al-Qaeda, like credible terrorist threats. And you know, you mentioned like how we're getting harassed. He is like at the center of all of it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. Putting yourself in the, you know.
It's not easy.
Thank you.
I'd love to, if we have him on again, I'd love to hear more about his story. And
I know,
like,
I didn't
how
get
did he make it out of Gaza into, I don't know, DC?
I see he migrated to America when he was 15. I didn't get an opportunity to go into that because we were so focused on current happenings, but hopefully we get the chance to talk to him more soon.
Yeah.
There that is. There's a few clips here. Obviously, I didn't get to them all, but we're out of time. And I'll save them for... We'll see.
For another time.
Yeah,
because we got a 3-day weekend up ahead of us. Lucky us. Lucky us.
Your boy's going to be working. Right, so there's no episode on Monday.
Yep. Reminder about that. No episode on Monday. We'll be back on Wednesday with our regularly scheduled programming.
Should I just blast through these? I can do it in 10 minutes.
Sure.
10
minutes.
I would like to go home. I mean, I'm being honest. I'm just going to be straight up with you.
10 minutes, you never have to hear about
Get the
this.
music playing a song.
I feel like that's a good equivalent exchange in the Full Alchemist world.
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna do this fast.
All right.
So here is
a criminal under.
I'm gonna do this fast, guys. 10 minutes. Here, while he's reading the shooter manifesto,
I have no trouble believing
he puts the live chat in emoji mode, but they're still able to convey. There's Hamas. What the fuck? There's Hamas. Oh, sorry, no, that's the flag. My bad.
That put the toll at 100,000 or more. More have been murdered since March of this year than in the Protective Edge and Cast Lead
Lots
put
of
together.
love and hearts
These
to
are
the
two previous
shooter.
sieges that Israel implemented on Gaza in the past.
But yeah, there's a reason you put it in
Right.
chat only mode. So that's that one. We're moving right along. Mike from PA, always with the most insane, depraved take ever. Here's Mike from PA, who, by the way, had to take. Remember when he was like, "Oh, Goldstein. Gee, I wonder if he's and he caught himself and sat there awkwardly for a minute.
Yeah.
Here's Mike from PA, the most vile-looking freak of all time. And I'm sorry, I don't go after people's looks, but holy shit, you being a shitty person manifested and being also looking hideous. He's that. Yeah, despicable human being.
It is absolutely perfect timing.
Women recoil when he enters the room. Literally sand. I'm telling you, sand falls from women's vaginas like an hourglass. Like an hourglass counting down your fertility. You lose fertility when he walks in the room with you. your viable egg count drops.
For Israel. And they attacked low-level staffers.
Low level.
You know what I mean? It's like perfect timing for Israel and attacks people that are expendable. They aren't even, they're Christians. The Christian Zionists get killed.
Bro, they're Israeli.
What?
Completely expendable for the Israeli state.
Expendable to who?
I don't think they're Christian. Maybe one was Christian, one was Jewish. I don't know. They're all Israeli though, and advocating.
Expendable to who?
He's saying it's a psyop that we sent in our most disposable grunts so that we could have this guy kill them. And
So to him, low-level employees anywhere are expendable?
yeah, because they're Christian. He thinks because Jews are Jewish supremacists that we send in the Christian Israelis to sacrifice them for our cause.
This is high level.
The Christian
Well,
Zionists
it's high level anti-Semitism. What it is.
Too high for me.
Killed. Completely expendable for the Israeli state. It is like, it's perfect. It's almost like it's designed. It's almost like it's crazy.
Yeah, man.
It is.
Who would have guessed that violence would have happened as a response to all this shit you've been saying? It must be a false flag. Hasan scoffs at the murder victims being called innocent. This is another. Oh, what happened? Oh no, we're here. Here he is. You guys are gonna like this. This is kind of in the vein of like the rape denial.
Everyone in the Washington, D.C. community. I mean, think about it. These people, their only offense was going to the Jewish museum. They were killed because they attended a Jewish event.
Just a little chortle.
I
I know it's not much, but it says. I think it kind of like really says it, doesn't it?
Inevitable. I mean, think about the data. We've talked about it before.
Like, bro, like this is kind of what Ahmed was talking about. Like self-reflection, bro. It's time for a little self-reflection. But no, he, of course, with Hasan, it's always doubled down, scoffing at the victims.
That's a swastika?
If you're talking about the sword that you used to call me out, that's true.
He's got swastika.
Hasan says it will be the perfect. Now Hasan also peddling the false flag thing. Oh, what happened here? It doesn't exist. Dan is celebrating. Hasan false.
I'm not celebrating.
False.
Rip to the link.
Hasan false flag. Let's see what happens. Oh wait, I should be more specific. Hasan Piker. He's not the only Hasan in the world, of course.
Hasan Piker.
Oh, here. Yeah, this is it. Oh, but dude, Google's amazing. Oh, where's the audio though? I found one without audio. Fuck Google. Is that me? Did I?
Oh.
What?
No, I can hear it.
You can hear it? Stop it,
Stop
bro.
it.
Why you torture me?
You're just not hearing it. We all heard it.
Hold on.
This is just information.
No.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We're going fat. We're moving quickly through these. Oh, this is the one I opened. Okay, now it works. That's weird. So, anywho.
But like I'm not Mr. False Flag at all, but like every single thing that he did in the aftermath of the shooting is so fucking crazy that it's like you could not have fucking designed a incident like this. You could not have designed a better false.
You could not have guessed that the inevitable consequence of everything we've been saying for the last 2 years could lead to something like this.
Flag incident like this. I'm not saying it is a false flag incident at all. I'm not saying that.
I'm just discussing how it is perfect. I'm not saying it is.
I am planting the seed, and then you already see it in the chat.
Yeah, of course.
Developing.
Too perfect, so sus.
One dude who is genuine.
This feels weird.
In his actions, and maybe a little bit brain broken.
This is why Hasan is so good at what he does.
Yeah.
Mike from PA is a fucking peon. He's so dumb. He just says it. But Hasan knows how to code it, right? That's what makes him so good at it.
And then that is why he needs to tell his fans, though, don't be Fed posting.
That's why he's the GOAT. And then last one, Noah also makes light of the victims, implying they deserved it. Noah Samsen, my good friend.
Specific current events or smart move on not covering current events, by the way? You mean specific current events or in general? Because, yeah, I think...
You always sound like that.
Yes, he's so boring. He's so dull. Dude, what the fuck?
2 pro-peace Jews dead. Read what they were saying.
What were they saying?
What
Show
were
us.
they saying?
Yeah.
Pro-peace is...
This guy doesn't know anything. It's always like, oh no, you need to go figure this out. And just until then, trust everything I'm saying.
Crazy.
Go watch Bad Empanada video about how crazy they were and how they deserve to be murdered. A chatter then asked him about his statement that calls for violence.
Has repeatedly made calls to violence and multiple protesting isn't enough. Bye.
What? I tried to think, but nothing happens.
No, I'm scared.
Wait, that's your response? He accidentally read a chatter that's calling him out, be like, hey, you kind of called for violence because protesting isn't enough. You literally said that.
Yes, it did. Noah has repeatedly made calls to violence and multiple protesting.
Take it on, bro. Answer. Go on.
No, I'm scared. I'm scared.
What?
YouTube video scared me. No.
What? That seems like pretty legitimate.
You're not. That sentiment, though, is 1,000% true. That protesting isn't enough.
Oh, so you're doubling down on it. So there it is. These scumbags that have no quarrels. They are nothing. They're nobodies. They're speaking on behalf of Gazans being white privileged fucking leftist Western losers. And that's all I have to say about that. See, I told you I'd do it fast. That's it. Thank you, guys.
You made good. You made good on your promise.
Thank you so much. And so now we don't have to do this on Wednesday. We'll have more, I'm sure. But at any rate, guys, have a great weekend. Have a great Memorial Day. Let's cook up some meats. Come on, baby.
Or some vegetables, skewers.
And some
tofu.
For your vegetarian friends and fam.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you to Ahmed for calling in. And we will be seeing y'all on Wednesday. Have a wonderful weekend. Ta-ta for now.
Thank you, everybody.